Previously on the Pyramidical podcast.
By the way, your podcast sucks, 6-7.
Hey, that's not nice.
We call your podcast the PP, as in pitiful podcast. Your P-pod is worse than the string beans pod called peas in a pod.
He's saying some pretty bad stuff, Brandon.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to the Pod. Peas in a pod. Pod. Welcome to the PIAPP, the Peas in a Pod. Peas in a pod. Pod. Pod.
Welcome to the Peas in a Pod podcast. The podcast that's all about peas, string beans, and every type of bean. Primarily focusing on peas, garden peas, snow peas, sugar, snap peas, field peas, cow peas, black-eyed peas, crowder peas, purple-hulled lady peas, petite peas, purple potted peas, golden potted peas, to the kappa diginctor peas. We have to learn how to pronounce that P at this point. But the PIAPP also focuses on beans. Kidney beans, navy beans, pinto beans, black beans, kernelly beans, great northern beans, lima beans, butter beans, fava beans,
Boston
beans,
baked.
chickpeas, garbanzo beans, black-eyed peas, cowpeas, mung peas, adzuki beans, red beans, anasazi beans, alapalosa beans,
My
borolani
favorite.
beans, cranberry beans, haricot beans, lupini beans, marrow beans, pink beans, red kidney beans,
Lupini.
white kidney beans, soy
Ooh.
beans, edamame beans, runner beans, scarlet runner beans, yard-long beans, hyacinth beans, lab beans, pigeon peas, lentils, green cattle beans, Christmas lima beans, chestnut lima beans, taperi beans, Swedish brown beans, October beans, soldier beans, yellow-eyed beans, Steuben yellow-eyed beans, European soldier beans, Mayakoba beans, Porano beans, Canario beans, rice beans, moth beans, horse graham, U.S. beans, black graham, bambara, groundnuts, to winged beans. Let's get started. So what
All
are your
right.
favorite types of beans and or peas in a pod?
That is
Well,
a
you
lot
didn't
of
mean-
peas.
That is a lot, and I gotta say you missed a couple. Because when I was in high school, I memorized every single bean there was, and I've dreamt about these beans, garbanzo and it just so Boston baked. You didn't mention the Boston baked bean, which is actually probably the most the most popular. But one of the best baked beans that exist, recipes anyway, that exist out there. And I think you're wrong. I don't know if you got that from AI or Grok. I think Grok is influencing your mind.
What's
Well, now
grok?
that charade is over, we can get to the real podcast. That segment was just a weed out newcomers that
Oh,
aren't
wow.
worthy to hear the real podcast, the Pyramidical Podcast, episode 13. Lucky 13.
Right. There's this thing. What is it, John? This atlas. Can you
The
explain?
3i/Atlas.
Yeah, what is this thing?
the three-eyed Guns N' Roses lead guitar player, Atlas, is supposedly a spaceship in outer space. We don't know, but I saw a video and I could even splice it on in. I don't know how authentic this video is, but no one has really debunked it. They're saying this is a real video from an amateur, which is obviously better than what NASA is showing us. It looks to me like something spiraling around the comet. It looks like maybe pieces of the comet broke off and it has its own little moons, or maybe it's some technology, I don't know, but it looks like something is literally orbiting around it, which wouldn't be unheard of. I mean, that happens with any body, even a comet, but they say it has no tail. So that's very unusual for a comet, and it's not from this solar system, it's from a different solar system, they say. That's a lot of speculation. NASA has released a horrible, as small as a photo as they could possibly give us, and I'm skeptical that's the best they got.
Jordan, have you heard this comet coming at us or whatever it is? Atlas.
I've heard comet, but I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, Atlas is the name, and here's my problem: is that the photographs that we're getting, the evidence that we're getting of this thing, appear to be docked. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
And appear to be doctored by whoever was taken. Like, I don't know who Juan Rodriguez is of who took this photo, and you could go into nowadays. You can go into the pixel and change it pixel by pixel to make it look like the Virgin Mary. Or some sort of goddess or some sort of god face, because people have a tendency, I think it's called pareidolia, to look at things and see faces. Like, you see people always see faces, and I think that goes back to like evolution when we were like primates. You know what I mean? We had to like recognize a face, but now we look at a painting that's chaotic and we try to make order out of it and we see a face. And I think that's what's going on with this comment, is that people are reading way into it. However, there is a truth that people do look for there. Anyway, I want to get into this because this is probably pretty heavy, but it's in this book, The Dark Lord by Peter Lavenda. And he talks about Moonchild and people wanting to create life. Basically, 2000. If you've ever seen 2001, which John hasn't yet, which I hope he has. No, I'm just kidding. He has. He's a huge. But if you haven't seen 2001, there's a space child at the very end, and it's in an orb, and it's just approaching Earth. And you can see that in like a lot of Lynch even put it in his Twin Peaks Return with Laura Palmer, and this sort of idea that gods and incarnate beings that can change history are incarnated on a certain star or a planet or a moon, and that there are rituals that they detail that Peter Lavenda that were based on Jack Parsons and Aleister Crowley and all that detail. I just read it this week. Details in graphic detail, how to achieve such a thing. And it's not, I don't think that's possible, but they definitely believed in it. And certain people do believe in that. And I do believe that this is sort of, it's in all cultures. It's in Hinduism. It's in across the whole world, this idea that you birth the child, the aeon of the new age is the crown and conquering child rather than the patriarchy or the matriarchy. It's this new thing that's coming. And Kenneth Grant said you could see this in television. You could see this in the new media. So
yeah, Jack Parsons, he tried the Babylon working, and he tried to create some antichrist figure, or whatever the case. Who knows? I mean, like you said, you're talking previously before the podcast about what's that name of a spirit you can supposedly create? What's it?
Oh, an egregore or
A tulpa.
golem? Oh, tulpa, yeah.
A tulpa, yeah. Yeah, there's, I mean, some people have the belief you can create a spirit, or you were saying specifically a spirit that could be inhabited by spirits, or whatever the case, a body. But I don't think humans have the ability to create from scratch like that. Only God,
Mm-hmm.
But even a tulpa, some magically inclined believe you can create a spirit from scratch. But really, you can't. I mean, the spirits come from the supreme being. They don't come from you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, we can facilitate the process, but we don't actually create it from scratch ourselves. We aren't supreme beings. We're just mortal humans,
Yeah.
But Jack Parsons was trying to do something crazy like that, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tolkien called it subcreation, and he illustrated it like we are not inherently the creator itself. We are sub-creators. We are people who are artists in our own right, but we are ultimately influenced by the divine, or the universe, or God, as some I would say. That inspiration is like found everywhere.
There is a magician. I can't remember what his name was. He claimed that his tricks work with the tulpa. And I knew tulpas don't exist. Maybe it's a demon, but it's not a tulpa. And he said, no. He even private messaged me on YouTube. He said, because I made a video where I mentioned how he claims it's a tulpa, and I said it's probably a demon. And he private messaged me. I can't remember his name. He was like Magic Mike or Mike Magic. I know there's
Magic
like
Mike.
I know there's
That's
like
Jordan's favorite.
There's like some type of guys take off their clothes, and it's called Magic Mike.
But it's not that's that. Jordan's favorite.
Actual magician.
That's how Jordan met me, by the way. I was in the play, and I said, "Hey, I'm Magic Mike."
No, he's an actual magician. I think he was on America's Got Talent, and
Oh, really?
I think he won.
What?
Or at least he was in the running up or something. So he's a pretty famous magician. His name is like Mike Magic or something to that effect. I can't remember his exact name. But he private messaged me and said, "No, it's not a demon. It's a tulpa." And I said, "Tulpas don't exist." And he pretty much doesn't have any come back to that because he thoroughly believes tulpas exist. But if you believe tulpas exist, you believe you are a creator and you supersede the supreme being. That's my opinion on the subject. That tulpas don't come from scratch. Spirits don't come from scratch. They come from a place where God has spirits. I mean, it's a place. I don't know if you saw that movie about the second, or it wasn't. It was about the end of days. That movie with Demi Moore, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and the angel comes down and he tells her, "Oh, there's a place, the Guff. Is it called the Guff, where spirits are held? When the Guff is empty, it's the last days, or something like that." While I don't necessarily believe in that 100%, I do believe, there is, a place God knows about that mortals do not know about where spirits come from. I don't think we create them, only the Supreme Being does. That's my opinion, though,
Yeah, I agree. Jordan?
I do agree, but I also think that, at least from my experience, there are different pools for and now they can.
I mean, we create with our DNA, but God puts the actual soul in the body, That's what I believe.
Yeah, but like, even if I read a story, I'm writing on a piece of paper, right? That didn't come from me, right?
Well, I mean, if you want to get down to this extreme detail.
That's what I mean, yeah.
If you want to get down to the extreme details, I do believe that we can create a story. We can create an original character. We can create a work of art. And I don't know who the guest was because I don't memorize people's names who I only see it a 1 minute clip and then never see or hear about ever again. Random tiny podcast. I don't know if you heard of this podcast called Joe Rogan podcast, but
Never heard of it. I don't know. I just
shout
know a
out to this
guy.
small guy. Maybe he'll make it one day. But he had
I
a
am
guest.
I don't like to punch down. That's the thing. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
He'll do great. So Joe Rogan's guest said that, or maybe Joe Rogan said this. Maybe it was Joe. I can't remember at this point. See, I've only
love
listened to like maybe 5 Joe Rogan episodes my entire
That's
life.
it. Wow.
That's about it.
Mm.
So, but this is one I only saw like a 1 minute clip of, and I didn't see the whole episode. But in the clip, it said that maybe planet Earth is, and it was a pretty good theory. I like this theory.
Yeah.
Maybe planet Earth is a factory for ideas and artwork. Maybe the universe is starving of ideas and starving of artwork. And so we go through this elaborate process to manufacture ideas and music and movies and artwork and just different stories, whatever the case, different mediums. In no other format, perhaps, do entities create on an artistic level like that. It's like a diamond in a coal mine, you know, all that pressure, something great comes out of it. I thought it was a really good analogy, a really good theory, and a good point on planet Earth.
It still assumes that like we're under the influence of higher beings, and I think people have a problem with that. They want to believe. Yeah, go ahead.
Joe Rogan might have even been mentioning aliens put us here to do that. So I don't even know if he was mentioning this green being, you know?
Yeah. Oh, she's got her Annabelle doll. Look at that. Her haunted doll. Hello, Jordan.
Hey.
We were just talking about this Atlas thing.
Okay.
The star that's it's like, is it a comet? What is it?
Yeah, it's a comet from another solar system, but a lot of people are posting, and this is for clickbait reasons. I've literally seen 24 accounts post a comet from 2023 called C-2022, probably first seen in 2022, and then our last visibility was 2023. So a 2-year-old photo is being shown as the 3-eye atlas, just for clickbait reasons, and it kind of ticks me off. It's an orange / blue with a huge tail, and you know it's not 3-eye atlas because it has a tail, and Atlas has no tail. That's one of the highly unusual details about Atlas. No tail.
Yeah, it seems like if you look at the photos, it seems to have 4 spokes coming out of it.
Yeah, it looks
each
like
individual. Yeah,
looks like 4 things orbiting it to me because they're moving.
Yeah, if Lord Josh was here, he'd call it the Lamont Star, maybe.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I'll have to Google it. I'll have to Google it. See what.
Yeah, check it out, Jordan. It's
the Lamont comet. Most definitely, it could be a Lamont.
The Lamont comet. That's amazing. I thought. Yeah. Imagine that.
Do that.
Yeah, Lord Josh said anything with 4 in it is Lamont related.
Well, but especially like that symbol of like the 4 with the little dots in between the 4 directions, you know, that's the Lamont Star, 100%. I have to tell him that. It's really interesting. I've seen a lot of Captain Lamont influence in Stephen King's son's work and stuff. You know, Nosferatu, which is like, it's about a guy who is a psychic and in the 20s or whatever, and he finds a Rolls Royce that will keep him alive forever. So he lives forever as a vampire, kidnapping kids and people, and being a jerk, you know. But he looks like Lord Josh growing up, you know, and he wears a Captain Lamont uniform. And I've sent this to Lord Josh, and he's just like, wow, like it's uncanny. Like it's almost as if I really do think. And I've just watched Welcome to Derry, which is the new HBO.
Oh yeah, my mom's been watching that one.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just watched the thing. It's really interesting because it's like basically, John, it's it's like a Dick Halloran origin story. Like
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
I
you
did.
know,
I came in at that episode with Dick Halloran. He was in the
well,
army at that point.
yeah, exactly. So he's in the army. He's in like a secret psychic sort of. They're uncovering some sort of cosmic horror, and like he's part of it. He has like
Mhm.
private access to everything.
Okay.
But like because he can shine, you know that. Like
Mhm.
he can in the original Shining.
Yeah,
Um,
for
so
clairvoyant.
but and it's funny because I know one of the right. Okay, I hate to. This is a name drop, so John might as well take a drink.
Oh my gosh. Who are you gonna name drop?
Mark Bernardin.
Never
No
heard
one's
of him.
ever heard of him. Okay, so
Never
you
heard
don't
of him.
have to. But he is a writer, and he's written on shows like Castle Rock, which was an Amazon Prime show about the Stephen King universe, and it
Mhm.
failed. Um, he's done all kinds of stuff, comic book wise and stuff. He's the co-host of Fat Man on Batman with Kevin Smith now for
Oh, okay.
years, actually. Okay, so he's like Kevin Smith's like best friend,
Very cool.
Batman
Very
on
cool.
Batman.
and he loves Tolkien too. What'd you say, Jordan?
Batman on Batman.
That's the name of the show. It's so funny.
I
And
have to look that up.
I think
oh,
I've watched 10 seconds of that podcast.
I've watched almost every single one because I love Batman. I love the writers, Scott Snyder. Did you take a shot?
Yeah.
God dang. So Mark Bernardin is writing on because every HBO series now has their official HBO podcast, and like we could rival those people, but he writes for the podcast. That's how big podcasts are now. The HBO, instead of having like an after show or having like an article and putting their money into that type of thing, or advertising, they're putting it into a podcast, like a very
Is he
well
still a fat
produced.
man though? Isn't Kevin Smith skinny now?
He lost a lot of weight, like tons of
Yeah.
weight.
Even
Because
Amy Schumer recently lost a lot of weight too.
did she? Well, it's Ozempic, but also like they also had like Kevin had a heart attack.
He did.
Yeah. So I mean I love Kevin Smith. He's one of the best, and
Oh
I've
yeah, he's
talked to him a couple
hilarious.
times. But Mark Bernardin's really super talented and underrated, and he actually pays attention because he's Kevin. Kevin gets all the attention, but Mark, I mean, he writes for like People Magazine. I mean, like if it has to do with entertainment or comic books or Marvel or DC, Mark Bernardin used to go under the moniker on Twitter, I believe, Tolkien Negro, because he's black. Not that that mattered. I'm just saying that was his name, and but he's very smart and very cool, and he's writing this. He also worked on Castle Rock, but Welcome to Derry is it puts all the universes of Stephen King together, sort of like the Dark Tower series. If you've ever seen or read or heard about the Dark Tower series, it's like his fantasy novel.
Heard of it.
It's like all Stephen King's worlds exist on this plane, and there's a meta plane above that where
So
all
there's
the archetypes.
vampires in there though? Is there vampires?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
I'm not a fan of vampires. I don't like that.
Well, I mean, it's just one part. I mean, and then he
Okay.
wrote What If Dracula, his first book actually was Stephen King's, and his was What If Dracula moved to Maine, which is right near me. What if that happened? Like, I would love to write that. And he came up with that first movie, which they remade recently. I forget the name of it right now off the top of my head. Anyone
Well, the
remember?
Doctor Sleep, I didn't mind
Doctor Sleep was cool.
I didn't
Yeah.
mind the soul sucking Doctor Sleep characters, but they were clearly not vampires,
No, there were. We just watched that not too long ago over here.
You don't think they
Yeah.
were what kind of? I mean, but
They
they were
sucked
sucking.
soul out. They didn't bite anyone's neck.
Yeah.
You think the vampires only bite in the neck?
Well, these people didn't suck blood. They don't care about blood. They put
Mhm.
souls in a bottle.
Right. No, that's true. And like, so I think Doctor Sleep is like very, actually, really good. I think it's underrated. What are you drinking there? What is that? Is that Dan
I got like some.
Aykroyd's?
I have some paranoid followers. I just showed my bottle collection in one video, and they're like, "Ooh, watch out for old bottles." I'm like, "What?"
Why?
It's like, huh?
Why?
So I got some
Old
like
bottles.
extremely paranoid followers. Like, there's nothing wrong with old bottles. This is just an
No
old
kidding.
bottle. I put some lights inside
Watch
of it.
out.
It's a little cork with
You better
lights.
watch out, John.
So I got to watch
That's
out. There's
cool.
there's ghosts inside of the bottle. I mean,
Yeah, don't open
they're
it. It's,
talking
it's
about
a
so bottles are
spirit for a
haunted
reason.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand in voodoo you can encapsulate a
Mhm.
spirit in a bottle. That's
Yeah,
some
Well,
traditional belief, you know.
I
yeah.
believe that.
I haven't read I'm reading Marie Laveau's book. I haven't gotten to that part yet, but she definitely practiced that voodoo as well as her Catholic upbringing. She got to live two
Wow.
different lives.
Fascinating character, this Marie Laveau. That a biography that Jordan's reading, actually. I
Mhm.
wanted to point out, too, so in addition to the Zener cards, one of my favorite books, and then we'll take this is sort of a segment, I guess, is this book here. If you can see that, it's a motorcycle.
Is that the
Guy
Peter
riding,
Levenda book?
looks like a Peter Levenda book, but
Oh
it's not.
no, that's the Hunter
Oh,
S. Thompson book, huh?
Hunter S. Thompson, Hell's Angels.
Okay,
First print.
like I saw the angels part, but it was so dark I didn't see the hells part.
So Hunter S.
Motorcycle, yeah. I see the
Yeah.
motorcycle.
So Hunter S. Thompson wrote this book. It's his first published book, and I would take a vacation every year to Vermont and stay at this certain bed and breakfast called the Timber Home on the off season because it was packed during the ski season because it's like one of the best ski places. But I would stay there. It was one of the coziest little cabin type places, and it was just marvelous. And you'd wake up, they would have breakfast ready for you and unlimited types of teas and cookies and all these birds in the backyard and this beautiful view. And it was just wonderful. And you would have like a communal breakfast sort of, but they also had a
Oh, cool.
library. And I brought a few books with me, and I saw this book, Hell's Angels. I'm like, oh, cool. And it said the sign said, "Give one, take one, or take one, give one." So I took this one, not really knowing how invaluable it was. And I put back another book. I forget what it was, but this book right here is a first printing of Hunter S. Thompson. He's
Wow.
become wildly popular with the Johnny Depp movie, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was
Everybody,
a good one.
right. So everybody knows the Hunter S. Thompson Gonzo style, but it began here. And this is really written in a way that's like more journalistic. You can see why he was hired as a journalist originally for Rolling
Mm-hmm.
Stone, but it became more about the world and philosophy and
Didn't
stuff.
he
So
like join and go undercover and join the Hells Angels to write that?
yeah, he did. He
Wow.
actually like became one. There's footage in black and white of him being confronted on live TV by a
Yeah, I
Hell's
saw that
Angel.
video.
You seen that? Yeah.
Yeah.
He just remains calm the whole time.
Mhm.
So I think, and Bob Dylan had the Hells Angels do security for him for a long time on the road.
Bob Dylan?
And yeah, and Mickey Rourke grew up being protected by the Hells Angels. He owes all his credit to them in
Mm.
boxing and everything. Like, yeah, they're an interesting group. They're not
Mhm.
like completely terrible. I guess like Altamont with the Rolling Stones, where Hell's Angels were involved, and Keith Richards was involved. He would just say, oh, "I saw the Angels there," and they took him out. There's one Hunter S. Thompson actually interviews Keith Richards about Altamont, and Keith says, "Well, I think one person died, and one person was born. So they gave birth. So at that point, so it equaled out. It's just like."
That was pretty good, B.
Was it? Keith
Yeah,
Richards is pretty good. I think
Yeah, pretty good. Not bad.
that was good.
all you have to do is laugh and just oh yeah, mate. Anyway, where were we? Okay, so Let me get back to a topic.
You were doing Keith Richards' voice.
Oh, it was, but I wanted to get to Starry Wisdom. And Starry
Well,
Wisdom.
can I talk about a book real quick?
Please.
Okay. So here's a standard book for, the OTO and that group specifically. And Aleister Crowley was a member before he joined. He created his own, Thelema group. And it's loosely based off of the Masons, but it's their own thing. But this is a standard text in the OTO, and it's called the Abramelin. And it's a translation by McGregor Mathers. This is just a modern day copy. It's a really nice copy though. Like I got this on Amazon from a guy in India who they make copies of old books, and I got it for dirt cheap. It was like $10.
Wow.
And then I saw the same book on eBay for like $200, and I'm like, hey, that's just the $10 Indian copy. But yeah, they I guess stopped making it or whatever the case. But I got a really nice cheap copy. But
that's
it's
nice
a high
copy,
quality.
yeah.
That is cool.
High
I like
quality
the binding.
copy. And it
So
talks
what
about
is that? The Magic Square? Yeah.
And similar to the Necronomicon, which is a modern Simon Necronomicon from the 70s, similar to that, I'm not convinced Abramelin the Mage ever existed. So the Simon Necronomicon really got some of its, just create a fake mage who wrote it.
Yeah.
And some anonymous dude.
Oh, that's cool.
It's their way of making an anonymous book by attributing it to a non-existent mage. I mean, whether he existed or not, nobody knows the identity of Abramelin the Mage. That's sounds true. Like Abraham
and Merlin.
And it says Abraham in the beginning, but it has nothing to do with Abraham from the Bible.
I don't think it has to do with Merlin either. Yeah.
This book is thousands of years after Abraham from the Bible died. We're talking many thousands of years. Yeah. So it has nothing, because this was discovered who knows when. Maybe medieval times? Or after that?
according to Stephen Skinner, the Solomon key is not as old as people think.
Well, this isn't the
medieval
key
times,
of Solomon.
Right.
This is the book of Abramelin the Mage.
Oh yeah, that's at least
medieval. It focuses on magic squares.
Yeah, that's like medieval.
Now let me just show some of the magic squares.
Okay.
And a mathematician might say, "Oh, I know what magic squares are."
Right.
These have nothing to do with math. Okay. These are magic squares that have to do with magick, the supernatural sorcerer version of magic, not the illusion magic that a stage magician does. But we're talking, hardcore occult stuff where you're summoning.
Can you bring the book closer to the camera a little bit, just so we can see? Okay.
The book purports. The book purports to summon angels and demons. Each square will summon a different angel or a different demon.
Right.
So it's not for.
It's not. My memory's coming back with that. Okay.
It's not something that you should pick up and practice. I'll just tell you that much.
Why not?
Well, I did have a dream. Believe it or not, I had my first.
I heard about this. Yeah.
Dream. A couple days ago. This was like 3, 4, 5 days ago. I had my very first Abramelin themed dream.
I can't. I've been waiting to hear this. All right, go ahead.
In the dream, it's clearly a negative entity. Says, let's summon a spirit and let's find some treasure, because that's what one of the squares.
What?
That's what one of the squares claims, that you can summon an entity that can show you where treasure is. But if you're even on that path, you're going down the wrong path.
That's King Paimon.
Just like a horror movie, there's going to be cliche consequences, like your soul, or maybe you get the treasure and then you die.
Right.
I mean, there's always consequences
for
these types of things.
Yeah.
So I don't want to promote this and tell people, "Oh, you want to get treasure? You want to join the Illuminati?" No, there's always major consequences.
Sounds like a game that Elisa Lamb was playing in the elevators at the Cecil.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
really?
that's a
Oh,
sad
I
story.
heard about the Cecil. So my
I
friend Brent.
actually was at the Cecil. We're
Yes,
talking
I told him about that. Yeah,
2 or 3 years before Elisa
the
Lamb was
elevator
there.
thing.
I was there about 2 or 3 years before her. So
Yeah,
I checked in, and
John
I can tell you
lived
why
there.
she
Not
checked
lived
in.
there. Went there.
She checked
Okay.
in.
Stayed there as the Joker, I think, or something.
She
Right?
checked in for
Remember?
the same reason I did.
He
I
he dressed up
Googled
as the Joker.
and I went to
It's the
hotels,
Joker, and people were like,
whatever,
"You're not the Joker." So
and I clicked on
it's so funny.
cheapest. What's the cheapest hotel in LA? Because I was going to a rave. It was
Yeah.
actually a New Year's
Wow,
rave,
really?
and
John
I
was at a
I
rave.
clicked the
Wow.
hotel closest to the rave in downtown LA. I clicked dirt cheapest, and it took me to the Cecil Hotel.
Search.
And I still have the stationery from the hotel.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
That's pretty cool.
that's why she went, because it was super cheap.
It was super cheap. Yeah.
It was like, I think it was like $40 a night. It was pretty cheap.
God, no wonder
Yeah.
Richard Ramirez stayed there at that time. He was
Did he really?
He did.
Well, there's a good
Interesting.
chance he was staying there under a fixed rent or even for free, because as
Really?
the documentary talks about on Netflix,
Very
the
influenced.
people in the higher
American
levels,
Psycho.
they were renters, and the people in the lower levels are people actually thinking it's a hotel. When
Mhm.
people in the higher levels are staying there on rent control, and maybe the government's paying it. But I didn't know when I stayed there.
Yeah.
So the dream, some spirit said, "Oh, just here's some treasure," and there was like just some gravel, and there was treasure, and then the dream switched to a dead body, and it's just freaky and creepy and
Yeah.
a demon dream. It's just
Doesn't
a demon
feel
dream.
good.
I don't want to go into detail, but
Oh, I've
Right.
had those. I've
it
had
was
dreams
really
like
freaky.
Yeah, they always like do something disgusting, and
that.
it
Yeah,
makes
I
you
had one. I had a dream where I could feel one picking me up. Like you couldn't see anything, but I could feel myself getting picked up. And my mom's on the couch, and I'm in the living room, but she's not even paying attention. Like it's trying to do
Yeah.
something to me, and I woke up real quick. I'm like, nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, they're disgusting. And so they try to
They're
make you like share in their disgusting things.
Yeah,
So
they're basically the bullies of the underworld.
yeah, and when you fall asleep, you're super susceptible to
Mhm.
influence. And
Yeah.
so they'll try to get in there and plant little things. But like what happens, I find with me, is that I realize like, oh, this is so gross. In the dream, I actually think that. I actually
Mhm.
think like, oh my God, what the heck? And then I'm like, oh, it's a dream. And then like I usually wake up or something like that. I'm like, wow. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, in my dream, it went straight from the treasure, which really was
Hmm.
nothing. I don't know if it was one coin or something, and it went straight to a morgue.
Whoa.
It was
Whoa,
kind of a freaky thing, you know.
That is very freaky, man.
that is
You know,
freaky.
I would say,
I've been to morgues.
have
I
you?
went out with an embalmer for a while.
What?
It didn't last long, but I actually got to be a dead body in a movie
Oh yeah.
in a real
Mhm.
morgue. So I was like, boy, that was one of the
Wow.
bravest moments of my life.
How many
Cool.
days do they keep you there?
Oh,
In
it was a
the,
2-day thing, but I was
really?
like, yeah,
You in the
but I was
grave?
like, it was you'd be
2
proud of me.
days.
You know how hyper I am. It was hard for me to keep still. That was my best
I was.
performance.
Yeah. Wow. Imagine being John. Can you imagine being in a coffin for 2 days? Just in 6 feet under in a coffin. You got to be there 2 days. I guess David Blaine did it. So
It was
it's
breathable.
possible.
It made it breathable.
You had a straw that went all the way up to the. Yeah.
And I got to be on the embalming table as well, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
A real embalming table.
It
Have you ever?
it wasn't the Tommy Wiseau movie, was it? Best
I don't
Friends.
know. No,
There's
it's
a
called
movie.
Songs of Cicada. It's
Okay.
independent documentary.
Whoa, interesting.
Wow.
Wait, best friends? Why do you say best friends?
Best Friends is a 2017 movie starring Tommy Wiseau. I think it's his best work as an actor.
Tommy, yeah.
Because the director, writer, they wrote the script for Tommy specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's himself, he can play that character really well. In the movie, he's a mortician, and
Oh
he
yeah.
extracts teeth. And there's a character that like steals the gold teeth and the silver teeth and sells them. And then Tommy's like, "Oh, okay, give me a cut."
Mm,
And whatever the case, they get rich off of teeth. I mean, what kind
right.
of a freaky
That was a
movie?
thing. Yeah. That was a big thing back in the day, and especially in like the Victorian times, they would go around the world and find digs and archaeology, massacres of people, and like find teeth and say, "Do you know how much this would go on the market?"
Well, they
Because
would actually, in the old days, they would to the first bridges of dentistry was made from cow's teeth and threads of gold
whoa,
in the Roman
what?
days. Yeah, and also the Egyptians, but they did it after of course, their pharaohs were dead. Then they
Mm,
like thread the teeth. They make the bridges of the missing tooth. But the Romans did it while their subjects were alive.
wow.
Yeah.
I think George Washington had like a wooden tooth as well.
He
His
had
dentures
wooden
were
dentures,
actually
yeah.
cow
Yeah.
teeth. They were cow teeth.
At least
Okay.
mine are like or
There were rumors
well,
it was wooden, and then there was rumor there that my dental
yeah.
assisting book said it was cow teeth. So
Mine are from the tusks of matador. And not a matador. I mean a mastodon. So they're all there. So but no, I'm just kidding. But that's kind of crazy, yeah, because Jordan, you would know that because you're a dental like hygienist essentially.
well, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
May go back to school to be a hygienist. I don't know.
You
That one's
have
gonna be
beautiful
very.
teeth. I always say like when you smile, look at her. Aw. She's like she has the best smile ever. Hi G. Aw. Anyway, I'm in love with Jordan and I don't want to look at her because I fall in love with her. So John, how are you doing? So all right, so in this book, let me just read a section from this book, The
Sure.
Dark Lord, which I'm going to send to Jordan, by the way. And it
Is that
I
deals
the
can't
with
wait to
Peter
read it.
Lavenda book?
the Peter Lavenda book. And then John, you should actually get it's only like $25.
Oh,
And you get a
okay.
nice cover, but I mean, it will just okay. So I want to also explain to you guys, everybody out there. Here's our Peter Lavenda segment, I guess. Hi, Peter Lavenda. Um, Let me just first show this because I did share this on Twitter that I met Dan Quayle back in like 1992, and my dad would take me on the political trails, campaign trails, whoever was in
Guess I
office.
gotta do another shot of Reno.
Oh yeah, go
We
for
did
it.
the
Yeah,
name drop.
yeah. Is
We should
that
have a
really?
bell. We should have a bell name drop. Bing.
Is that Dan Quayle's now a name
Okay, I'm
drop?
just gonna have more of this mead.
What is that? Is that the Icelandic meat?
I'm almost out of it.
Is it Icelandic
Icelandic?
meat? Oh man, you're making me jealous. I wish I had something to drink.
I'm jealous.
I'm so
No,
jealous.
I think it's from Denmark.
I might have a vape somewhere, but
It
anyway, I'm
tastes
not
really
gonna do that.
cinnamony.
That's so
Ooh,
awesome.
sounds
It's
good.
Denmark. It's not Icelandic. Kind of like Bjork.
Yeah, it's Denmark.
Hi, my name is Bjork, and I like things like this. And really, things are the little cities.
If you're
If
an
you
actual Bjork fan, do you know what her favorite drink is?
Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, I would imagine.
Only extreme Bjork fans know this
I
fact.
don't know. Tell me, please.
Bjork's favorite drink is absinthe.
Really? And you
Abstinent.
have that?
Yeah,
Do-
absinthe.
Don't you have absinthe
Well, I
too,
have
as
it
well?
downstairs.
Oh, okay. But you
I
do
guess
have
I
it
can
though.
get it for the next shot.
Next show, whatever. Okay. But you did
It's
do it
like
one time.
you'd like that. They have an absinthe house in New Orleans down Pirates Alley. I actually went there 10 years back.
Imagine if
Mhm.
this was my eye. Just I was talking like. So anyway, John,
So
this
you're gonna read
microphone
a
is.
segment from the book?
Oh yeah, let me do that. Anyway, but no, before that, I wanted to show. This
Okay.
is
Bush
the
quail.
Bush Quail official bumper sticker that I
Wow.
actually got. I also that was just in a random book. I have 88 by the way. When they ran.
God, that was a
So
lifetime ago.
people always say I don't like. They're like, you met all these people, and there's no way you're a liar. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I grew up with a dad that worked at the Ritz-Carlton and got to meet these people and brought me along. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not a big deal. Everybody's the same. They just have different paths in life. So anyway, I'm going to read from the
Exactly.
I'm going to read from the Dark Lord. There's a really good cover to this too, by the way. It's of not the the Levi Baphomet, but it's like a Baphomet type character. I took it off and I kind of took it off, but I left it at that. But let me read a little bit
Why
from
did it freak
this.
you out?
I was a little freaky looking at that for sure. I don't know where it is actually, Jordan. Okay, hold on. So there's one section. So he gets into obviously how Lovecraft and Aleister Crowley and different people were into creating a new age for the world, and that this age would be an age that was unlike other ages, that would overthrow the monarchy of God and introduce a more what they thought as egalitarian system of gods. We would call them even demons. They wanted whatever entities to enter into the actual world and possess things. So let me just read. And this guy Kenneth Grant, who tried to take over the OTO once, the Ordo Templi Orientis, after Crowley died, there was a big fuss about who would take over, and Kenneth Grant thought he should take over, and he really was. If you read his books, it's very far out and hard to read because you really got to get into them. But anyway, let me
Yeah,
read
to this
this.
day, there's a like a California OTO, and then there's a England OTO, and they kind of argue over the copyright trademark,
Yep.
and
I'll have
who
to
knows
research
which
those.
one's the real one. But there's a dude in California who claims I'm the real OTO. Whatever, you know.
Well, there's that dude that thinks he's the real, not just OTO, but what was that guy, David, whatever. He had a falling out with EA Coetting. It was David something. I forget his name, but he thought he was like the leader of the Rosicrucians or something like that. But
Oh my
he,
gosh.
remember that guy?
There's no such thing as a leader of the Rosicrucians.
Well,
It's
there is the
literally a
Rosicrucians though.
group that's mythological. I
But
have books on the Rosicrucians. It might
well,
have existed during the Crusades time period, but
all
even
right.
then nobody knew who headed it. It was very mysterious.
Yeah, I never even heard of them until tonight. The
Really?
Rosicrucians. I'm gonna have to. I got a lot of
Really?
research to do. Yeah,
Awesome.
and usually I know just
So
about anything about history.
Well, the
awesome. So
Rosicrucians, they claimed their secret was they could turn lead into gold.
alchemy.
And as we
Yeah,
know, no one has ever been
yeah.
able to prove it. It was
No.
literally just a scam to get
So
people to give them free gold to join. And then
it's true.
no one could turn it into anything. It's just a money scam. I mean, that's what I got
Yeah.
after reading a couple books on it.
They also set up in California quite a bit. They moved to California. They found the atmosphere there. Especially, there's a town called Oceanside, California. Let me
I've
just
heard
read
of
the wiki.
Oceanside.
Okay, so it's like I live there and work there at a certain company. I'm not going to name right now, but let's see. The founding of it. I'm looking right at Wikipedia right now. The Mexican era, the history. Originally Native Americans, Spanish era, Franciscan church. Maybe it's not Ocean. Is it? Pretty sure. Hold on. Let me just look it up. Let me see. The Rosicrucians basically founded this place. At least they claim to be Rosicrucians, and that means Knights of the Holy Rose. And the rose is a symbol for the feminine, Jordan, as you know, like
Okay. Yes.
flowers. You know how flowers are like symbols of the feminine.
Yes.
So the Rosicrucian Fellowship in Oceanside, California, is an international organization with its headquarters at a site called Mount Ecclesia. It was founded in 1909. Imagine being in Oceanside or anywhere in California down there at 1909 by Max Heindel I was going to bring a book on the amazing, and I'll bring it next episode, about
Yeah.
how many occult orders that there were in Germany that studied like far out stuff that we're talking about, like beyond this. Like they were way beyond this before even World War II. Okay. Max Heindel, office correspondent, blah, blah, blah. So there's a Rosicrucian Fellowship. International headquarters is founded there. I remember reading something, and it said that they founded basically Oceanside, California. So that town, they still do exist, and they are a real order, I will say, John.
They might be inspired by the mythology of the medieval order,
right?
But there's no actual proof anyone is of the original order. It's kind of like
That's right.
Kind of like the
Knights
Illuminati
Templar
of 1776. There's pretty much no one who's a member of the 1776 Illuminati.
Right,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, there are people that claim to be. You ever see those people? You know any of those people? Like there are people that say they're Isaac Weishaupt, I think is one of them. And he's made a big name for himself. Even like Trump has mentioned him and stuff like that. But anyway, let me just continue to read. I haven't even begun to read. So this is from The Dark Lord, which he, in this book, Peter Levenda calls Set. Remember, I mentioned the Temple of Set,
Right.
founded by Michael Aquino, who was an offshoot of the Church of Satan. Also into Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, wrote fan fiction based on that, and also like worked for the military for 50 years. Anyway, much of the and wrote about H.P. Lovecraft. Much of the power of Western horror lore was undoubtedly due to the hidden but often suspected presence of hideous cults of nocturnal worshippers whose strange customs were rooted in the most revolting fertility rites of immemorial antiquity. These secret religions, stealthily handed down amongst peasants for thousands of years, despite the outward reign of the Druidic, Greco-Roman, and Christian faiths. In the regions involved was marked by wild witches' Sabbaths in lonely woods and stop distant hills on Walpurgis Night and Halloween. H.P. Lovecraft. The Deathless Chinaman said that there were double meanings in the Necronomicon. Hideous cults, nocturnal worshippers, revolting fertility rites, double meanings. It is the last that gives us pause, because it is so eloquently reveals that both Lovecraft's own imagery when it came to sexuality and religion, as well as the basis for the Thelemic, Necronomicon, and Egyptian currents, upon which Grant expands upon throughout all volumes in his Typhonian trilogies. Fertility rites. One could make the case that Tantra is essentially the survival of some more ancient fertility cult, operative throughout the subcontinent, perhaps before the Aryan invasion, and that our concepts of Yoni, Amrita, and Shiva, and Shakti all derive from the practice of immemorial antiquity. After all, Tantra practitioners do indeed meet nocturnally. Let me repeat that. Tantric practitioners do indeed meet nocturnally, and it's in quotes, in remote places to carry on their fertility rites. It's in quotes. I'm not making that up. It is the type of public relations effort carried out not only by Lovecraft, but the Western media in general that made Tantra and its associated beliefs and practices seem so exotic and forbidden. Pretty much substantiating Edward Said's, I met him and his daughter. Take a drink. I did. I saw his daughter, and she did a play, and she gave me an olive.
So is this book by Peter Levenda?
Yeah.
So he says Thelema. He says Thelema currents. It sounds like he's a huge Crowley fan, huh?
Oh, he's an absolute, like, he's like one of the highest scholars of Crowley. This is filled with like, so it turns out that when Lovecraft was writing one of his first short stories called The Beast in the Cave, Crowley at the very, because, H.P. Lovecraft, for whatever reason, wrote voluminously and like so much, right, John? So like
Mhm.
he would write like, um, what do you have there, Jordan? Oh, your new kitty.
This is
What a
Dexter.
Oh, hi, Dex.
Ah, hi.
What a big one. Hi, beautiful. What a
Is it a
big,
boy?
gorgeous. Looks like a
The
It's a
boy.
boy,
boy.
right?
Yeah. His
Big
tail is
boy.
growing much faster than his body.
Oh
I
my
can tell by his
God.
nose it's a boy.
Really? Is that how you tell? I can
Yeah.
tell usually from the size. Usually the size is an indicator. But yeah, Levend is obviously like a Crowley like aficionado, but
I
he
mean,
also looks at.
that's almost proof that he is Simon, because
Well, let
Simon
me give you the proof. Yeah,
Simon would have been a huge Crowley fan. But yeah, give us the proof.
All right, let me give you a really good proof. Okay, and maybe I hope, John, I'll pay you money, whatever it is, and if you want to do this, splice in this website that I'll send you again.
You don't gotta
If
pay me money.
it would look good. This Dark Lord book. Okay,
Mhm.
I looked who it was published by, and see that. What does it
What's
say?
it say?
Ibis Press. Ibis
Okay.
Press, and the ibis is like basically a phoenix kind of occult bird, and it's basically Lavenda and the Magical Child people own publishing press. It's where I think if you look at your Dead Names book
Mhm.
and see who published it, tell me who published it.
You have a Dead Names book?
Yeah, and like Thomas Sheridan, I was just reviewing this Thomas Sheridan interview. He has it too, which was interesting. So I got this guy Thomas Sheridan. He's Irish, Jordan. He's really good. You like him?
I'm gonna have to look this up.
He might come on the show too, Thomas Sheridan. I hope that would be cool.
Okay, I have the Dead Names book. It's just a
Yep, there
book
it
on the
is.
history of the Simon Necronomicon by
Yep.
Simon.
Who's it published
Signed
by?
by Simon. And let's see. I only got it because it's signed by Simon.
Yep.
This is copy 240. So I got it because I'm a rare book collector.
That is worth money.
I'm
That
a
is
rare
absolutely.
I'm a rare occult book collector.
He
And
does
a
have great
really
books.
good discount came up, so I couldn't pass it up. I had to grab it.
Yep.
It is
John's
Raise your hand.
by
We're gonna fight you for it.
it says Subterranean Press,
Oh, really?
2006.
Okay.
But it's copyright by Simon, of all things.
Huh. All right. So anyway, so that doesn't prove my theory, but this book here and a few other books, if you go to Ibis Press and you look under their collections and their catalog, you'll see this book, The Dark Lord. You can also buy it on Amazon, but it's like $35.
I mean, maybe he slipped up.
Well, hold on. If you go to the About Author page, because there's a hyperlink, it says this book is by Peter Levenda. Hot hyperlink. You click on Peter Levenda, and he has a few books published by Ibis Press. One of them is Simon Necronomicon. One of them, I think, was Dead Names. There's like other books that he has written. I think Sinister Forces trilogy, and the Lovecraft Code, which I actually really want to read because he lived in Massachusetts in Newburyport, and the headquarters of the Magical Child Bookshop, which carried out all this stuff and probably came up with the Simon Necronomicon, is in Massachusetts in Newburyport, which is not very far from here. So in that page, it says Peter Levenda. I wish I could share screen. Let me see if I can share screen. Is the it says Peter Levenda. He is the author of this book, that book, that book. And then it says Simon has appeared on many radio shows and television programs. He also has done all this. He disappeared in 1990, whatever, to come back to appear on radio shows like Coast to Coast. Like it's basically, so when you're Christianed, and when you become a pope, when you're initiated into something else, when you're initiated even into witchcraft, Jordan, or any occult sort of order, you take on a new name. There are many, like, you know what I mean? Like Equetting is a name. There are many like magical names out there. Like
Yeah,
I am Magus Jordan.
EA's magical
Whatever.
name is Archulus Baron. He
Oh,
says
really?
he said when he's in the spirit plane of existence, his name is Archulus Baron. That's his actual name. He greets other spirit
Wow.
travelers as, or maybe out of body travelers, or whatever you want to call
Would you
them.
want to? Would you be open to having EA Coetting on the show?
Yeah, most definitely. But
Oh, really?
the thing is, he gets hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. I don't know if
Oh,
he
really?
wants to come on here.
He comes on. He would. I think I could get him on. Not that I know him, but I could try.
I mean, he might know
I've
of
talked
me.
to him.
He might know of me. Some of his collaborators have commented on my channel, and they said, "Oh, one of the comments of one of his
I like him.
co-wizards, they said that I would make a good sorcerer." And I'm like,
You
"I'm
would.
good. I don't want to be a
You would,
sorcerer. Thank
though.
you very much."
No, but good for you. Yeah. No, but you would. Thank God you're not. Jordan, do you know who EA Coetting is? This guy we're talking about.
Mm-mm.
All right.
No,
So
I
he's
don't.
like.
I've never heard of him.
So John, do you want to help out?
Well, he's a guy from Utah who he kind of had a hard upbringing in his life, and so he decided, of all things, to become a professional professional sorcerer, a professional summoner of demons, and write books about it and sell workshops on how to do it. And that's what he does full time, 100% full time, is write books on summoning demons and sell workshops on how to summon demons. Full time,
Mhm.
that's what he does. 100% of his, he bought a house on that. And I wouldn't say he's rich,
Wow.
but he's richer than me. You know what I mean?
No, but you know what? Like, I'll give you this, okay? Someone once said, I forget who it was, but they were like, name a magician that actually got rich from from practicing magic,
Mm-hmm.
and there's none. Every one of them have like died destined, like Anton LaVey. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
talking about like people like that. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crowley died penniless.
Aquino was only had money and assets only because of his military pension. For example, Anton LaVey, penniless, in debt. Many magicians. So they all, E.A. Coetting, to his credit, as John has, I think, pointed out many times, has made at least, what did you say, upper middle class income from practicing magic. And he came from Mormon roots, which is really interesting. Utah
Well,
is
he
like,
came from adopted Mormon roots. His
oh,
adopted
it's right.
dad was Mormon, and he kind of rejected the faith. But
Mhm.
it's a really complicated story where he was in a foster home, so he kind of bounced
Yeah.
around different homes in the Utah state, and of course those homes might or might have not been Mormon. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
blame Mormonism on any of his problems. It just would have been he was a foster kid, and he kind of had to have some structure.
Yeah.
And instead of relying on houses where he bounced around in, he focused on magic. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone's going to find comfort in something, and he happened to find it in
Yep.
that, you know.
Yeah.
Understood.
No, I find it. Yeah, I find that a lot of ex-Mormon, like people that grew up in Mormonism, reject it and go immediately into like the opposite thing. It might
Well, I
be
mean, all kids are going to rebel against their parents.
right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I
My
think,
brother
but
was the king of it.
oh, really, Jordan?
Yeah.
Your brother? I like your brother. He's cool. I know.
He has his
Back.
moments.
Yeah, backstage drama, not drama, but I know Jordan, and her family's strong people. I'll tell you that they're really
Yeah,
strong,
they are.
great. And her mom is beautiful. Like your mom, like you have great genes, like. Oh, look at
But
that!
here's
Aw.
Nixie real quick. Nixie just wants to say hi.
Hi, Chitty Bitty. Hi.
Hi. Meow meow.
I like making. I miss my cat.
Dexy's drinking water back there.
How's your cat? You have Jordan? Did you have a cat coming tonight or something? You adopted a new cat?
Oh yeah, mom and dad just got home with them. But yeah,
Aw.
I've got Dexy tonight.
Oh, hi, little bitty. What a big boy.
Oh, y'all should have seen him.
Jeez Louise.
He's 7 months old now. He is 10 pounds for 7 months old. This cat.
No way.
Yes, wait, Ted.
I had a female cat that was like 12 pounds, and she lived to be 20, like 2 years old in human years. You know what I mean? And super old. And I had to put her down, and it was like the hardest thing in my life. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, basically on that website in Ibis Book Press, it says it's Peter Levenda and Simon as the same person.
Wow.
Essentially. Yeah. You can just go to it, and it's as close as you'll get to him actually admitting it.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean? I don't think
I think
he'll
at
ever
this point he'll probably admit it. I mean, at this point he knows how famous it is, and if he doesn't admit it, someone else will take credit. At this point,
That's right. You're exactly right, and he thinks that way, and he's smart, man. He's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. I read this book, The Dark Lord, and it's very well written, man, and very like good. And so he's not a dummy. You know what I mean? I've researched him. So I wish I had gone to the To the Stars Academy, Tom, because he's behind that whole thing and influence. And Tom DeLonge from Blink 182, Jordan.
Yeah, I was wondering. It's like, is that Blink 182 we're talking about?
Yeah, he do you know he started like a To the Stars Academy thing?
No, I did not know that.
You never heard of this? Okay, so Blink 182, Tom DeLonge, he's been into aliens forever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And
the Aliens Exist song.
yes, stuff like that. Exactly. So like he set up this whole organization called To the Stars Academy, which is Ad Astra, which actually is a Crowleyan term, sort of, but it means to the stars.
Well, it's not exclusively a Crowley.
No, it's not.
It
I
could
know.
Be. It could be Crowley related.
He used it though. I'm just saying. But like, it's not Crowleyan. You're right. But so it's like he promised to like build like these spaceships. What did he promise, John? I don't forget exactly.
Well, Tom DeLonge had pieces of supposedly a UFO, and he was going to work with the government, and he was going to loan the pieces to who knows, like major contractors, and they're going to build an amazing UFO spaceship, flying saucer. It's going to become real, and we need the money to build the spaceship. And what does he come up with? Monsters of California, the 2023 sci-fi movie, and other sci-fi TV show movie type adventures. And it's just a Hollywood kind of
entertainment company
at this point. There's no building of spaceships to be seen. I wouldn't expect building a spaceship to be a real thing, but I have seen debunking of the material that he has. I don't know how realistic any of it is, but I'm open-minded that maybe he has something. Like, he definitely has contacts with people with top secret clearance, but I'm skeptical. Although I do like the fact that Tom DeLonge has admitted that the entities may or may not be aliens how we perceive them. They might be out of time. And I think that's an atheist admitting they might be spirits.
Interesting. Yeah. He's surrounded with us. So when I lived right down the road from him in Encinitas, California, or Jordan, he lived in Solana Beach, which is like right down the street, which is next to my favorite sushi restaurant called Sushi Station. Thank you very much. Next time I'm there, please give me some really good sushi for free, because I'm advertising. No, they have you have to get there early because the line just builds up all the way. It's right on the beach and everything. It's beautiful, beautiful place.
Dang, it must be that good.
Across the street is a Yogananda retreat. Yogananda was a guru that went out to California, like many gurus do, and set up shop, and actually had some really cool teachings about peace and etc. And anyway, he owns a retreat there. There's a whole
it's et cetera, not et cetera, but et cetera.
Et cetera, yeah. So whatever. Anyway, so want me to start correcting grammar? I'm an English teacher.
I just noticed Patton Oswalt in the last Ghostbusters.
I love Patton. Yeah.
In the latest Ghostbusters, Patton Oswalt is a linguistic expert.
Is he?
And then he says etc.
Oh yeah.
And a
No,
linguistic
that's a no-no.
expert would have said etc. And they would have
Can you
known
show
the
me?
difference. So I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah. So Blink 182. So I've been to his little. He designed like a little storefront in front of. It was like he owned like a little block right across the street. His place was right across from this Yogananda retreat, which I used to go to and not even think of. And all of a sudden, I found out that the two of the Stars Academy, the very one in the entire world, storefront was right in Encinitas, right a mile away from my house where you picked me up, And
Was there a sushi restaurant there?
no, in Solana Beach, like down the road, there is a
Uh,
restaurant there, but there's a
what's the
few
sushi restaurant called?
Sushi Station. You want to go there?
Sushi Station?
Ever? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just walk in a sushi station and say, media influencer here. Free sushi, please. Media
That's right.
influencer, here's my verification. Free sushi. And they'll give it to you. No questions asked.
Yeah, no. They sponsor this. Actually, no, it's not even funny. Like I got an email that I thought was spam, and it was from the some people have mayors, some people have like if a town is run like a business, they elect like a CEO. Essentially, they appoint somebody to run the town. So the town manager, they call it. So the town manager of Solana Beach emailed me, is a fan of the show. I want to give a shout out to Todd out there. Thank you, Todd, for your email. Man, he said something like, if you're ever in Solana Beach, I'll take you, John, and Jordan to Sushi Station, and we'll eat like kings and queens, and then afterwards go to Hannah's, which is up the street, which is the best ice cream, homemade ice cream that you ever have.
Yeah. Give me an ice cream, Randy.
Oh, Jordan, and then you get the ice cream, right? And it's a big line. You can taste every single ice cream and be an idiot, and people hate that, but you got to do it. And it's all homemade. The strawberry cheesecake has little like it's all fresh ingredients and stuff, and like little pieces of cheese cake in it, cream cheese. Anyway, everything is good, and you walk on Moonlight Beach. Anyway, this guy, who apparently is the town manager of Solana Beach, said, I approve of your podcast, and I'm a huge fan, and I love cats. He said he told me that I love the inclusion of cats, and so we are now sponsored by Solana Beach. The town manager of Solana Beach and Sushi Station. If you go there, use the code word Pyramidical, and they'll give you 5% off your tip. So to Sushi Station, which is a great deal. But anyway, going back to Tom DeLong, he employs Peter Lavenda, and they had a book signing.
He actually does employ him?
Yeah, he's written like 20 books with him or whatever. Wow. All the Secret Machine books are written with Peter Lavenda.
Secret with a K.
With a K, because it's cool. I thought Pyramidical was with a K for so long.
Well, Pyramidical
it looks like it.
I did too.
Pyramidical with a K did exist, but now it's with a C.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I was right.
So if you're in need of a slide magnet that's shaped like a cracker or a cookie, don't forget to pick up your Yummers slide magnet. Everyone needs a Yummer slide magnet in their life because they need to slide the magnet back and forth. And it's a gym crack item that serves no purpose and use whatsoever other than you slide it and then you slide it on back. Yummer slide magnets.
Wow. Thank you, Yummer slide magnets. And use the code word Razimus to get 10% off of your order of a slide magnet. We are also sponsored, I want to say, by Progresso Soup. They actually sent me a message on Twitter, a DM, and they said, we love the Pyramidical podcast. I heard you talking about kale soup. They gave us a can. I'll go get it. They gave us a case of canned soup and vegetables. So, and it's a prop that was actually, it's in the background of not Ghostbusters, but a film like that. and you can't really see it, but it's one of the props from the movie.
Let me show you my card I just got. This is my Christopher Walken autograph.
Right.
It's a Dune 2 card, and it's 11 of 25.
Yeah, hold it close to the
Extremely
camera if you
rare.
can. There
It's
you
an
go.
extremely rare card.
Wow. It's signed by
Wow.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it's signed by Christopher Walken. It's on card signed, not a sticker. So ever since I've had this card in my house, I've had some freaky dreams.
Wow, really?
So I don't
Whoa.
know if Christopher Walken has some freaky thing attached to him or whatever. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Like attachments?
But I'm a fan of Christopher Walken. He's a great actor,
Oh yeah.
very
He's
successful actor, and he plays the
Yeah, I love
Emperor
it.
in Dune 2 and in Dune
That's
1.
right. Yep.
But he won't be in Dune 3 because Dune 3 takes place 10 years later when I guess Paul Atreides takes over.
Yeah, I almost brought out Dune Messiah, but those card series are amazing. I wanted the Florence Poe card. She plays like the daughter of the Emperor,
Mhm.
and she's actually, spoiler alert, an Atreides or something like that. So,
Well, Paul
yeah,
is, spoiler alert, a Harkonnen.
that's right. They're all related. It's basically a royal family dispute, and in fact, Frank Herbert studied the War of the Roses in Britain and based it on European. It's almost like Game of Thrones in a sense,
Mhm.
but
Well,
but
the other way around.
Matrix.
Game of Thrones is a little bit like Dune, because
Right.
Dune predates Game of Thrones.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think George R. R. Martin was very influenced by Frank Herbert, as everybody was. It would like it's right at the top of the list of, I think, for me, one of the greatest books of all time. Messiah, the second one, is really interesting. It gets into more of the order of the Bene Gesserit, who are the witches, the women witches who have such psychic power. And in fact, the Dune TV show on HBO it revolves around the Bene Gesserit influence on Dune, and in fact, like, they're super important to the whole story. So that's very cool that you got that card. Is it Topps, or who made that?
Yeah, it's a Topps Chrome card. See, they released a Dune 1 series, which was so limited that only a few people got it. And I think it was a test run to see how popular the cards would be. So there's no autographs in the Dune 1 card set. So Dune 2 is the first set with autographs. And the best autograph you can get is this one right here, Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
This is
And you
the
took a
best
photo.
autograph you can get. This is 25. This is the orange colored. And Spice is orange, so I wanted the orange colored. And they claim
Awesome.
that the cards are made with Spice from the actual movie.
Really?
I hope so. So that'd be pretty cool. In other words, Spice from the movie is really just orange glitter. That's really all that Spice
Or
is.
sand or whatever. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That is so cool. But you took a photo and you posted it, I think, on Twitter, and it has a reflective, like, almost not holographic, but a spectrum, like, like almost like a Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd light spectrum. If you shine a light on it, didn't you like take a really
These days,
photo?
whenever you get a rare card, they're always going to have extreme rainbow holographics going on. So let me just, it's hard to really show it. It's hard to show it. But
there you go. Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if you can see the rainbow, but yeah, it's a pretty cool card.
That's very cool. Christopher Walken is great, and just that's a great card to have, man. I thought about getting one. How did you get it? Did you buy it on eBay or what?
Well, the thing is, I bought 4 hobby boxes.
Really?
And I bought 4 blaster boxes, or whatever they're called. And I opened the 4 blaster boxes, and I got nothing other than a Christopher Walken non-autographed something of something. And I opened 1 hobby box, and I still have the 3 I haven't opened, because out of the 4 blaster boxes and the one hobby box, I got nothing. Zilch nada. So I'm like, you know what? Mathematically, if I open these 3 other hobby boxes, there's going to be nothing. You have to literally open $10,000 worth of boxes to get this Christopher Walken card. So I just went straight to the source and I bought someone selling it, and I waited for a good one with good corners, and I got it from China. So this card came from China.
No way.
From a professional card shop in China that buys case after case. And they open through all these card packs, just like the Willy Wonka movie, opening chocolate bars until they find a good one. And they sell it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they make profit, because they would literally have to open $3,000 worth of boxes to even get this card. And this card I bought for the lowest price it's ever sold. I got lucky, you know.
Yeah. No, that's the best card you could get, I think, of that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might think that, I guess, the Timothy Chalamet card would probably.
Well, he didn't sign.
Oh,
Chalamet
really?
didn't sign any cards.
Really? That's too bad. He played
you
Bob
think he would have.
No,
Yeah,
Chalamet and Florence Pugh decided not to sign any cards. They believe they're too good for Topps cards.
No, well, Florence didn't sign it. She has a card though.
They have cards, but no autographs.
She's amazing.
I would have signed the card. I would have signed the card. I don't care. I'm not too good for Topps cards. I like Topps cards.
That's a pretty cool. I think John, like John is always on top of like really cool merchandise and gets in there and then gets it, and then all of a sudden it increases in value.
Yeah, this card will be worth twice as much in 6 months easily.
I bet. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when I don't want to say it, but when Christopher Walken passes, like
I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking when Dune 3 comes out,
you're right.
People will remember Dune, and bam, it'll go up a little bit.
And then so that's a good investment. I have these Zener cards. I wanted to just
okay, the psychic card. What are they called again?
So these are the Zener cards.
Zener?
You can see in Ghostbusters. So there's a squiggly line, 3 squiggly lines, a square, a circle, squiggly line. I think star. Okay.
Star
plus sign, square.
Any triangles in there?
Let me just see. Yeah. Repeat it.
Square.
Yep.
Plus circle star. So there's actually 5.
Right. So there's actually a star too. So I got to get that one. I'm gonna do a little shuffle of the deck. I have these weird, like sports cards too as well. My uncle is really into still collecting like sports cards and stuff. So I don't even know what these are, but whatever.
It's like Pokemon.
You know what they are? You're exactly right. I'm just looking at it now. It's freaking Pokemon.
That's Pocket Monsters. According to Stephen Dollins.
Do you want to talk about the Dollins drama that we had with this? Just because we never got it on the record. It only happened on Twitter. Let's tell people
the Dollins drama. What?
Yeah, please. And Jordan doesn't know, so please
enlighten me.
Enlighten Jordan, please.
So what?
Stephen Dollins and the whole thing we had with him and the video you did on him.
Well, just a fake person on Twitter is pretending to be Stephen Dollins.
And what happened, though?
And the daughter of Stephen Dollins said, "That's not my dad, by the way."
And we didn't believe it at first. We were like,
I trust the daughter.
Someone I do now,
pretending. If you have ever seen the Prophecy Club YouTube videos, Stephen Dollins is, somewhat famous on YouTube with his Prophecy Club sermons where he talks about Pokemon being evil, Harry Potter being evil. But then, a lot of people are off-put by those. But then he talks about he used to be a member of the Church of Satan. And then people say, oh, no, he wasn't. He's a liar. And then he talks about being in a coven, and he was an actual male witch who ran the entire coven. He said he just sent $20 to the Church of Satan in California, and they sent him a membership card. they'll send anyone a membership card. If you give them $20, anyone's a member. That doesn't mean nothing. But he's from a Midwestern state or maybe a Southern state, and he didn't know that the Church of Satan are atheists. He didn't know. All he knows is he wanted to join, so he joined. But what Brandon pointed out was that he carved 666 in his forehead.
Yes.
And anyone who does that is kind of diehard and kind of hardcore. And maybe they're not all there. But he said he ran a witch coven. And he said he happened to have the spiritual ability to summon demons.
Mm-hmm.
And he said there were some witches in his coven that may or may not have believed spirits existed until a demon showed up, and then they all tended to believe. And the demon appeared as smoke. He said it appeared as orange smoke.
Yep.
Interesting.
And he said
Azathoth, yeah.
They talked to it. What was the name of the demon?
Azathoth?
Was it
I've heard of
Astaroth?
Yeah.
I believe it was Astaroth.
Something
So
like
he's
that.
talking to Astaroth, and he might have some enemies, and he sends Astaroth to go attack some enemy. And that one of these enemies happened to be Christian, and they prayed that night to be protected with the blood of Jesus. And Astaroth comes back real quick and says, "Don't ever send me to a Christian.
Don't you ever
send me to a Christian." And that was the beginning of Stephen Dolan's becoming Christian. He said, if even a demon is scared of a Christian, maybe Christianity is the right way to go. That's just part of his story. It's a long story where his dad died, and he was mad at God because his dad died.
Yeah.
Very similar to many atheist stories, and many, Crowley had a disagreement with God. Charles Darwin had a disagreement with God. And this guy, Stephen Dolan's, had a disagreement with God and decided to go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And he claims to this day he has the ability to summon demons, but he's not doing that. The scars have really healed up. You can barely see that it's ever said 666, but you can see some scars on his forehead.
Yeah.
And I think his story is true, personally.
I do too. Go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
I would agree. I mean, people do that, so it's
You would like him, actually, Jordan. Like, I don't think the prophecy clubs are on YouTube anymore. Like, they took them down, and they actually had a radio show. I've listened to every single one of those, and I got in touch with a couple of people that have been on the prophecy club. There's a guy that was called Dark Marquis, and he did 2 lectures on the prophecy in the prophecy club. And he used to go around the circuit at UFO conferences and whatever. And he always wrote these books and did these documentaries and stuff. And he passed away a few years ago. But he was interesting. He claimed to be from like an Illuminati family, but he knew like some really deep and dark stuff. So somehow I got his phone number. So I would call him up. And he was always in a bad mood, And I would say, like, hey, you ever hear about the Necronomicon? He's like, what are you doing reading that? I was like, I'm not reading it. I'm just asking you, like, if it's real, And he's like, that book doesn't exist. Would you read a book that doesn't exist? He's really mad at me. So I was like, all right, whatever. But Stephen Dollins, there was a guy on Twitter who seemed legit to be the real Stephen Dollins. And like, you had like, would say things about like power to Christ and all the, like really interesting things. He would respond like Stephen Dollins might, but then all of a sudden his daughter came on Twitter and was like, this is not my dad. This is an impersonator. And John and I were like, really? Because he didn't post that much. And the daughter, I was like, show us proof. Or John was like, show us proof. And she immediately came back with a video of Stephen Dollins, now like raising like grandchildren in South America or whatever, and saying like, this isn't me, I'm the real Stephen Dollins, okay? But like he was like Kenny Powers from that show Eastbound and Down.
Never saw it.
Oh, it's amazing. You guys got to see this on HBO. It's about 3-4 seasons, but Will Ferrell's in it, and it's a comedy. It's about this pitcher. It's fantastic, but yeah, he's in it. So
yeah, at one point the imposter paid money for a check mark, And I
Hmm.
see now that the check mark is gone. So
Oh, really?
Dollins would
Yeah.
never pay for a check mark. And that's
I was
one
gonna.
thing
I've
that
noticed,
convinced
I've
me it
noticed
wasn't
there's a
him.
lot of people that do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you like one person, like what are your favorite? I've noticed like you follow them on TikTok, and then like a bogus account that is underneath the same name will follow you back. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Thank you for being a fan of mine," and I'm like, I was like,
Well,
dude, I know your MO, so stop. I
yeah,
message him, I'm like, stop.
yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
goes beyond a fan. It goes into the realm of mental illness. When people
Yeah,
set up 20 accounts for celebrities just so they can read emails of fans of people that are not them. It's messed up.
Wow,
exactly.
I would never waste my time doing anything like that. It's
I
waste of
I
wouldn't
time.
know.
either.
It's such a waste of time. Like we have stalkers and trolls. In fact,
Yeah,
Jordan, I
people
think
have
you.
fake accounts that'll like
Mhm.
I've had fake accounts like
Well,
stalk
Jordan.
me.
Well, of course, because you're a beautiful woman too. And like, so when you did your live stream, I think it was last week, it got flooded. You
Yeah,
make
you
me a
were boiling.
moderator.
You were ready to go. You were ready to
I
go
was
beat their
like,
butts.
they were making fun of Jordan. They were like, I
Yeah,
was
I'm
like,
sorry to hear that.
no, 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 but like she took it like a wizard or a witch.
Yeah,
She was just like pure. She's like, well, who is that? I don't know who that is. Well, okay, well, I hope the best for them. She was just like pure and just whatever negativity they were trying to get her to say. Because a lot
mhm,
of it, these trolls just want you to say something stupid, and so
Hmm.
they can
mhm.
be like, "Oh, look at what they said. Oh, I made them say that." And
Yeah,
Jordan did not fall into that at all.
you
They
know,
were
I had
like,
a guy say, yeah, like I was crazy with the haunted dolls, like who would put a baby
right.
in me, that kind of thing. I'm like, obviously, I
Yeah,
wouldn't want you to, sir.
but I'm glad you went through that, Jordan, in a way, because you
I'm
know
quiet.
now how to
Yeah,
respond, and like it wouldn't hurt to make like a trusted friend, hint, hint, a moderator, so they can
once
get
I
rid of
figure
those
out
people.
how to do it, I will.
You just gotta click on my name, and then it will show like make a moderator or whatever. But don't worry about it right now.
Yeah,
They
sometimes you
left.
got to moderate those trolls. Like my
They were
first
bad.
fan from the MySpace days, many years ago. He's like, "Oh, I'm a huge fan," and I clicked on his profile. This is MySpace. This is like 2007. I don't know, 2006. And the dude has like guns, and he has tattoos, which are clearly of something extremely offensive. And
Mm,
I immediately like muted him or blocked him or whatever the case,
mhm,
ignored him. And then even to this day, like a week or two ago, I posted about my movie, how there's gonna that's right. I was just posting about Back to the Future 40th anniversary in Japan. And one of my stalkers says something super offensive against the Japanese, and I don't find
jeez.
that funny in any way, shape, or form. My
I
movie
don't know.
is inspired by Blade Runner a little bit, a tiny bit, and it there is going to be Japanese and Chinese inspirations, kind of like in Blade Runner, how there's a huge billboard with advertisements in Chinese. I think it's cool to have multicultural, uh, just different. You don't
Ethnic.
know what city that this character is in. You don't
Right.
know what city. You don't know what country. It's just the future, and
Yep. I love that.
that's what I
I do
want
too.
my movie to be, a mystery slash, there's advertisements in many different languages, and that's what the future is going to be. And if you're against other cultures, different uh, languages, then just don't follow me. Don't comment
Yeah.
negatively, because that's not
Yeah,
how. I don't want to be associated with people that are just full of
Yeah.
hate, because I'm full of positivity. I happen
Nice.
to have a Chinese grandfather and
Good.
Chinese and Japanese relatives,
Hmm.
and I'm a big fan of the cultures from
me too.
those different countries. And I have
Yeah.
family members
Oh,
from
we
those
love
different countries.
Japanese and Chinese, and golly, Mom and I went to this Morello's place. It's a Mexican restaurant here in Los Bluff, and they were playing Selena, and I was like dancing around waiting for the I was cracking them up.
Yeah, no, but it's something that everybody has to deal with is these stalkers. So,
Oh yeah,
they come and they go. They have no power, and they try to.
well,
I just want to say that you handled it perfectly, and it's part of like the live streaming
yeah.
thing. Star, squiggly line, square, plus sign, circle, star.
Okay, okay. Are you gonna shuffle them?
All right,
Yeah. Anticipation, Brandon.
Just get on with it. All right, fair enough. Let me shuffle
Get on it, Bankman.
Bacon. Hey, Jordan, you got to try the Red Bull Fiji apple and ginger.
Okay, I'll try
Everybody
it.
cool. Everybody cool is drinking that now. So, and they might be sponsoring the shows.
Okay, I've got a bubbler watermelon lime smacker.
All right. So I'm going to pick a card at random. I'm going to hold it up, not facing you, facing me, and you tell me what you think. Now, you must know what the cards were that I just said, if you can remember them. Remember, they were star, square, plus sign, circle, and squiggly line. So, what do you think this one is?
I think it's a square.
Okay.
Same square. It's either the square or the squiggly line.
All right. Well, actually, it's the plus sign.
It's the plus sign.
But if you look at it, it kind of is a square. Like that, it can be. It's kind of close.
Well, if you draw
All
it
right.
in, you know.
Next one. This one. Think about it. Take a minute.
Circle.
Circle from John. I'm gonna try to put my
Star.
Okay. I'm gonna get no, I can't guess because squiggly line.
Squiggly. Of course, it'd be
Man, that's the first thing I thought of, but I ignored
Is it? All right, let me try it.
Sometimes don't go against your instinct.
I'm gonna shuffle it again, and then we'll try again. Remember, it could be star, squiggly line, square, plus sign, circle. Okay. Which one is this? It could be
Circle.
plus star and circle. Jordan said. Circle. Jordan. All right, we might. Very good. All right, I'm gonna do one more. Okay. Think.
I'm trying to think. Star.
Star. You both said star.
Yeah.
Wow.
My instinct said star. No.
Okay. There's the test. Very good. We got 2 out of 2, I think. I mean, 2 out of 4, something like that. So that's pretty good statistically. But
not bad.
Not bad. All right. Let's see. So we talked about all that stuff. Jordan, you've been really getting into Hecate.
I have.
about
I was not sure she was calling me, and I didn't even think she'd work with me, but she definitely has opened up my mind on things that I used to be interested in and stuff I was no longer comfortable with, like my gothic attire that I used to love, and I've been getting back into that, and she's been showing me the deeper, darkest parts of myself I need to heal, and especially the cemetery. Like I was in my room and I knew she was around because I could smell, like I wasn't in the cemetery, but I could smell the cemetery. It was just, I've never experienced anything like that before.
That's not a good sign.
It's a sign for sure, because
it's a sign of something.
Yeah, smells are usually a sign.
They say the only entities that bring negative smells are negative entities. That's what they say.
Right.
Mm.
But also, like, there have been reportings for throughout the ages of like Marian visions of or angelic, and cinnamon is the scent that comes, and then roses and cinnamon
Yeah.
is associated with like angels and Mary and stuff. And then but scents, there's definitely, even we were talking about E.A. Quetting earlier. He said that one time he was conjuring a demon. In fact, part of the OTO levels, there's levels like Freemasonry to the OTO, and one of them is you have to, in front of other members, conjure, and it's in this book. I couldn't find it, but I just read it. But you have to conjure a demon or some kind of spirit in front of everybody else, so that, and it has to be visually there, and everybody has to experience it, and you have to get to that level. So they actually believe that stuff. But and I think they're right. That it definitely can happen.
Oh yeah, I believe my ex-husband conjured up his own poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't have believed it, but it's something I would never, that would go far beyond my imagination.
I
But
think our energy goes into the new sphere, as different philosophers has called it, which is like I think John, or taking it from Tesla, called it the infinite intelligence or something like that, which is like this ether.
Well, that's Napoleon Hill calls it
Oh, right.
infinite intelligence. Yeah,
Oh, he does.
from
Okay.
his book Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah,
But
brilliant
here
book.
is E.A. Coetting's rarest book.
Oh, wow. Look at
This
this.
is E.A. Coetting's first book he ever published, called Kingdoms of Flame. I don't know if what you were
Yeah.
talking about, the story, is in this book or not. I have read this, but it's been many years, so I can't remember if he summons the demon in this or
Yeah.
not. It doesn't sound like this book, but he was definitely in an order which he had to use a magic square and go to the place. And the place was what he calls Kingdoms of Flame.
Mm-hmm.
And there's very few first editions of this in existence. And
Wow,
here's
John.
one of them. This is a first edition. Let me
Wow.
see how many there are. There's very few.
Yeah, he put out a lot quality books. Yeah, Coetting, I gotta say. When he
Okay,
was
there's
around.
only 218 of these in the world. 218,
Wow.
that's it.
Huh.
So
I
this
wonder
is
why
one of
218.
218. I used to have a second or third edition where he signed it, and I had to let it go.
Yep.
But I wanted to get it back. So I was lucky enough to grab a first edition. This is the
Yeah.
rarest EA book that exists. Other than the leather edition, there's only 18 of those in the world.
Wow.
wow.
Didn't one come with incense and stuff?
One of them came with graveyard dirt.
Yeah. Right. No, for real. Yeah,
Oh,
that's interesting. But anyway, E.A. Coetting said that he summoned a demon or a spirit or a guardian angel, whatever, and he was smoking. It's like tobacco, like a cigarette, or I forget if it was cigarette, cigar, or whatever, or something, or maybe it
Yeah, he's
was
smoking a
something
cigarette.
else. Cigarette, and maybe, and the angel, not the angel, fallen angel, whatever it was, said, "What is that noxious smell, aroma? What is that noxious aroma? Put it out." So they were offended by, so the certain spirits attract, like certain smells attract certain spirits, I think. So like if you
Yeah,
burn
spirits are
incense,
obsessed with incense, and if they don't
right?
like
yeah,
the
they are.
incense, they'll be offended. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like I find that interesting. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I do. Like, I have some jewelry that I'm wearing one. It's a Dinjin, one
A
of my
gin,
newest
yeah.
ones, and he likes sandalwood. So if I burn sandalwood, he likes that.
And you wear it.
Well, watch out. Gin aren't exactly good.
There are stories about gin being actually pretty cool. But they're not exactly Aladdin, Robin Williams sort of gin as well. But um, they are wrathful spirits. But there's some movie, I forget, that got it right, where they basically humanity comes together with the jinn and fight this enemy. I forget the name of the stupid movie, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I think Atlantis, they used them for the higher magic, at least from what I've read, because I was curious
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. But they come from the
Well,
Middle East. Yeah. Oh
here's
wow,
the first edition of Necromantic Sorcery.
that's it.
This
That's
is
the
the
Ooh,
one.
I
leather
saw that
first edition and
on
mint
Amazon.
condition by Dante AVL.
Right.
And I have viewers who constantly ask me if I'll sell it, and
Really?
I'm not gonna sell this. This is the book that comes with Graveyard Dirt.
That's
It
it.
comes with a bookmark sigil, a one of a kind sigil, and this is a mint condition. I used to have this book used. I used to have a used copy of this book, and the second I put it on my bookshelf, I mean, not the second, but the night that I went to sleep and it was on my bookshelf would creak from this
Wow.
book being on my bookshelf. My bookshelf would creak constantly. It was a haunted book, and it was clearly used ritualistically because
Hmm.
it smelled very heavily of sage. And
Yep.
sage
Whoa.
is used to get rid of
Plant.
spirits, to
That's right.
expel them, to banish them. And I think whoever used it was scared, and they constantly used sage so much that the book started to smell like sage, and
Wow.
they sold it on eBay to get rid of it. And I had it for about a year, and my bookshelf was haunted for a year. And when I
Wow.
sold it, no longer did the bookshelf creak. It stopped creaking.
Ugh,
And then, like a
Man,
year or two later, I got the same book, but a brand new mint condition, never used, never worn, no problems. No
awesome.
problems with the unused, never to be used.
Uh,
So occult books are okay to have, but if you use them, watch out. You know what I mean?
Now
yeah.
that one especially talks about this guy Dante again, another fake name, Dante Abia. Like you know what I mean? Like this is you have to take on a persona like Simon, like with Peter Lavenda, or you have to take on a different name. So this guy's Dante ABL
Yeah,
and
Dante's real last name is Pike.
Pike.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting, like Albert Pike. But like so. But he says in that book, like I think I remember listening to I think podcasts that he did with EA poeting, and or like just lectures on it, and he was interesting. He talked about the graveyards being basically in Jordan. You go to a lot of graveyards, it basically
Yeah,
being the hot spot for necromancy, essentially. And if you
pretty
look at
much,
the Bible,
yes.
even Jesus went into the graveyard and talked to the demon legion. You know what I mean? And raised Lazarus and all. And it was it's interesting. So um, I think ABL was bordering on a line, a very ethical line there, because I think he advocates digging up body parts, right, and using them.
Well, I mean, when it comes to EA's first book, Kingdoms of Flame, I think it's somewhat similar to Dante's book, Necromantic Sorcery. You have to take it with a grain of salt. They clearly mix in stuff they've read, and they mix in stories that aren't 100% factual. That's what I got from reading those two books personally.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, I almost got a book on necromancy because I was curious about it, and I was like, but I did get
Yeah.
one. I just started it. It's of blood and bones working with shadow magic and dark
Whoa.
moons.
Can you show that to the camera a little bit?
Yeah,
Thanks.
and it got
Blood
a lot
and
of good
bone.
reviews across TikTok, and I was curious. So I was like, okay, I'll buy it.
Okay.
And because a
Who
friend of
who's the
mine,
author?
Kate Fruler, it's Freuler.
Blood
That's how you
and
spell it.
bones.
Blood and
Interesting.
Bones. But a
Hey.
friend of mine was doing dark magic on a friend of his, and I'm like, why do you want to do that to somebody? What did they
Mm,
do to you? And he's like, well, nothing. I just want to do it. And so I started reading.
yeah.
I only got far in, but it's like whoever you do with like love spells, things like that. It's whoever. It depends on the state of mind of the person.
Yeah.
the spirit, because if they don't believe it, it's not going to work on them.
Right.
And that's what it
And
says.
it can backfire very badly.
And yeah,
Yeah.
because if you're wanting somebody to leave somebody, like say a relationship, I mean, pinning, it's not going to make them leave that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
Exactly.
backfiring, it can backfire completely.
But Hecate is a like a three. It's like a three-pronged goddess that has like
Yeah,
three different personalities. One personality is the old crone. The other
yeah,
one is the young witch. The other one is like the middle-aged witch or whatever. And oh, what's that, Jordan?
that's my key necklace I got of her.
Okay, wow,
I'm trying, but it has the maiden, mother, and crone on it.
that's what it is. Yeah, maiden, mother, and crone. And
And
you
then
can
it's
see
got
that.
the crossroads on the back.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah.
One of the
So she's
symbols.
associated with the crossroads too.
Mhm.
You know, the Robert Johnson sort of deal with the devil. So a lot of people make a deal with Hecate.
Mhm.
It's actually that Hecate, I think, is a Greek name, but
She
you can
is.
actually,
She's
it's
the goddess
Greco-Egyptian, right?
of, you could say sometimes necromancy, or and she ferries the lost souls to,
That's
you know,
right.
the other place.
And she is a goddess of beauty, and I
And
think,
beauty. Yeah.
and
She's got
temptation,
so many names.
seduction, I should say, seduction.
Yeah,
It's very
seduction.
seduction. Like I find, like you said, I think Jordan, like the women who are into it are very beautiful, and but they really take Hecate super seriously.
They
And
do.
I know this one woman, Jenny, who I interviewed for my old podcast, who was super into Hecate and saw it as like a affect imagery for her own living and stuff. You know, so she's really connected to that. Hecate actually goes back to Egypt as well. Like you can see the three, and if you look at Shakespeare, you know Macbeth, double double, toil and trouble, right? Those
Yeah.
three witches, the weird sisters, like all the weird
Yeah,
sisters.
they do
Okay.
mention in my Pagan Portals book, Bit by Bit and Moths, they do
Oh
mention
wow,
Macbeth in here. They have a passage.
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's really like it was really like a big thing, and those are the three witches that.
and they call her Beautiful Darkness, or the Mother of Dragons. On the wings
Mhm.
of eternity I fly,
Oh, interesting.
enraptured by the eternal bliss of her sacred flames. Hecate, Mother of Dragons, um, devours me. I don't know if you say that word.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, a lot of it is pretty graphic and like
It's
I couldn't.
graphic, but yeah, I'm not gonna read that last. But
That's okay.
just the Mother of Dragon, just the first
Yeah.
line. On the wings
No,
of
it's a
eternity, I fly, enraptured by the eternal bliss of her sacred flames, Hecate, Mother of Dragons. Let's just read that first line.
no. She's like it's very powerful, dark stuff. So I
It
hope you.
is.
But you seem to be handling it all into his Red Dead Redemption game that he's playing. What
Yeah.
happened to Red Dead Redemption, John? We were supposed to
I
play
just
that.
died. I fell off a hill. So I'm
Didn't you
playing my
crack
Billy
some?
the Kid character on Red Dead Redemption 2 online.
Pretty cool.
And I've noticed there's two different players on this game, other than the console and PC. Other than that, there's players that only play the story, single player
Mhm.
story, and then there's real players that only play online. I only play online.
I didn't know there was an
Kind
online
of
component.
breaks it up
I've
into
heard
two
that
types
game.
of personalities. You
Yeah.
either want to watch a movie or you want to
Right.
make a movie.
Right.
I make
Exactly.
movies. Therefore, I want to write my own story, and therefore, I want to journey and adventure online.
Yeah.
I've
Sort of like
never
Westworld.
I've
Yeah.
never played the single player story ever. I
Really?
cut it off after 1 second, go straight online. And I've played
It's a
this game
long one.
online for years. Ever since it came out on PC, Red Dead Redemption 2 online. First, it was on console for like a year. So I had to
Yep.
wait like a year or two for it to even get to PC.
Yeah.
And whenever I mention online, we're talking every single time, I say, oh, I only play online. I get nothing but thumbs down and hate. People are like,
Huh.
you play online?
Oh my goodness.
Like,
Why?
it's a million times funner. It's literally
Yeah.
a zillion times funner
Yeah,
than playing a single player game. I get the
absolutely.
concept of a single player game and the story and all that. I get the concept. But online, you just journey and you walk around. And I'm just hunting, just looking for animals to pay the bills. And you turn in the skins and you get dollars
Right.
and you
You can
live
play
on the
card
land
games.
just like
Didn't you
they
crack
did
it?
in the 1800s. It's
Didn't
a
you crack?
very realistic game,
Yeah.
and it's very relaxing. And you just hang out, you do your own thing. And players
Yeah.
that don't want to, it's basically a sandbox game. And players that aren't told what to do, they don't know what to do. Like where's the arrow and the question mark? Where's the exclamation point over the
So
NPC's head? What? Tell me what to do. No, a
it's
Right.
not
sandbox
as
Figure it out.
game.
serious as some of
Sandbox
these
game, you
online
have to have a
games.
brain and you have to use it. And they don't have a brain, they can't use it, so they don't know how to play sandbox games. But I love sandbox games.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. I didn't know it had an online component, but I used to watch um, somebody play Red Dead Redemption. I didn't play it, but I remember I think you cracked a code on the card game and how to like win I think was it the card game or something or the
Well,
at
there's
the because
poker.
there's
You can play
games
poker in
within.
the game.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't cheat. I just happen to be good at poker.
Oh, is that? I thought there was like like some kind of glitch that you figured out to win
Maybe in
everything.
the past, but
Okay, but that's
no.
fun. GTA Online, Grand Theft Auto Online was really fun. I remember joining it, and I think it was Grand Theft Auto 3 or something like that. It was online though, and it was just so crazy and chaotic and just like fun as heck. So yeah, I agree. Like it's fun to do the story maybe once or twice and then maybe go back to it. But the online and playing with other people that you can match up against is pretty fun. And they can actually like you can team up and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's cool. So
Yeah,
that's Red Dead Redemption.
I still play GTA 5 online sometimes, but I think the best game Rockstar Games ever made was
Mm,
Red Dead Redemption 2
yeah,
online. Period.
yeah,
And
you're
people are
probably
looking
right.
forward to Grand Theft Auto 6 online, which is
Definitely.
Miami Beach, but I'm not really looking forward to it.
I don't know.
I guarantee after GTA 6 online comes out, I'll
Yeah,
play it, I'll buy it and I'll play it, but I'm going to come back to Red Dead Redemption 2 online.
really
It's a superior game. It's the old
interesting.
west and it's
Yeah,
very realistic. I don't think
it,
Beach is going to outdo the old west. It's
I
just too
remember.
fun of a game.
I remember it came out like right as like Westworld was out. And I remember thinking, "Oh my god, it's like a West like you are in Westworld." Westworld by Michael Crichton, which is like uh I don't know how you describe it. It's like a
It's like
game.
Jurassic Park but
Jurassic.
robots in a
Yep,
western setting.
exactly.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
that was on HBO for a while.
Yes, you got to see this, Jordan. So it's like it's really the first. I think the whole series is great, but the first season especially is like beautiful, and Anthony Hopkins acting and just like the whole philosophy behind it and everything like that um, is amazing. And like where it goes and into season 2 and even the old movie with Yul Brynner is pretty cool too. But yeah, it's basically you go into the old west, you do whatever you want. These people pay like an amusement park to go and like they can do whatever they want, Jordan. They can go into the brothels and do whatever they want to these because it's robots. It's not real people,
Oh,
so
okay.
they can get into
Yeah.
fights and
But the
do stuff,
twist is some of the robots can remember and
right?
they have trauma and they got to reset them. And some of them have a memory and they're
Hmm.
AI and they're very smart.
And they wake up a little bit, and that's a problem when they wake up and they rebel. Again, they realize that they're in a simulation. You know what I mean? And they realize there's limitations, and like it's a brilliant show. Westworld actually, I can't believe it fell off so fast. Like it
Yeah,
was really good for a while, and then like
the
people just
last
got out of
season
it.
is garbage.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's like with True Blood. Like once
Mhm.
they got past, to me, once they got past season 3, it was kind of, I didn't understand it after that. Like
Really? Yeah.
I lost interest real quick.
My mom was really into True Blood, and it disturbed me because like I could never watch like rated R movies with her or anything like that. I'm like, you're into True Blood, you know? Like the first scene I saw of it, it was like two guys going at it, and I was like, no, I'm like, how you watch this, She was really, and she bought the whole box set, True Blood, and
Yeah,
she
like
bought all the Charlotte Harris books that like went along with it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
but
pretty cool.
the books of series like it's just so different. I
Hmm.
mean,
It
which
is,
most
I
books
guess.
and movies series are. But yeah, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
past season 3, I just couldn't. I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah,
The
it's
last season of Game of Thrones was horrifically
Yeah,
bad.
I know.
And
They just
George
had
R.
to
R.
end it.
Martin, he says why the last season sucked so bad. He said because he didn't write any books that they could plagiarize.
That's right. He
So
is
he
such a
kind of did.
jerk.
George R. R. said he basically was glad or purposefully delayed his writing of the books because he knew that the screenwriters of the TV show were simply reading his books and rewriting it for the show.
Right.
And
Right.
he was jealous that they were getting credit for his book writing. Sure, they adapted it, and he just didn't like the TV show writers. He didn't like them. He thought they were hacks, and he's probably
Yeah.
right. He's probably right because the
They
last
kind of
season
were.
sucks super bad because they
It
couldn't steal
does.
anything because he was a couple years behind
Yeah.
on the books, and the books went in a different direction in a different universe, but they probably did on purpose as well, so he could also say "screw you" to the TV show writers. He very much hated them to the point where
Wow.
he was almost mad when I met George R. R. Martin at Comic Con. He was almost mad that I asked for him to sign the Game of Thrones book.
What?
what?
Wow.
He's like, oh, real. He didn't say this, but I just got the gist after looking at his face signing. After looking at his face signing 100 books, I could tell that he liked the fans that brought of Ice and Fire
Right.
and not the Game of Thrones book specifically, because
Right.
he knew they were TV show fans and not book fans.
That's true.
He liked the actual book fans and not the TV show fans. That's just
Yeah.
the gist I got from meeting him in person.
I mean, he was
Mm.
a nobody pretty much. I mean, he was known as like a sci-fi fantasy writer. He wrote like for that show Beauty and the Beast, not Beauty and the Beast. What was it where Ron Perlman played like the Beast? And I
No,
think it
it's
was
Beauty and the Beast.
is it Beauty and the Beast? It was like
Yeah,
a
it's
TV
Beauty and the
soap
Beast.
opera.
Yeah.
It lasted only like a 2 seasons,
guess
but it was pretty.
you can drink a shot because I name dropped George R. R.
I wish I had a shot. Let me go get one. Hold on.
I just met him once, and I was in line for 2 hours to meet him. So, I had to work hard to get a ticket, and then after you get the ticket, you got to wait in the second line to get his autograph. So that's one of the perks of San Diego Comic Con is you can get autographs. I got Weird Al Yankovic's autograph, so he's the coolest celebrity I got to meet at Comic Con.
He seems like he's pretty awesome in person.
Yeah, Weird Al was awesome. Like I met him and I told Weird Al to his face, I said, "You're one of my heroes." And Weird Al laughed. He's like, "Ha ha ha ha." He thought he was funny. He thought he was funny.
I had his food album cassette tape, and I would listen to that constantly.
Hmm. Yeah,
That
he's
was
a
another.
hilarious guy. He's a genius. You could tell he's a nice guy. I mean, he was nice to me. I got a picture with him. The only thing I regret was I bought 3 of his things to sign for him to sign, and he was happy to sign 2 of them. But then I asked for a picture, and then he didn't sign the third thing because I asked for the picture too quickly. I should have just slowed down and waited for him to sign all 3 things. But there's a long line, so I understand they had to shuffle me after the picture. No big
Yeah,
deal. It's not his fault. It's just people working the line. They're like, next.
yeah. I think they get it seems like Comic Palooza in Houston. They would get pretty impatient too, even when my brother would stay in line for. But I got to see Jason David Frank over there, and he was just so. I didn't get to meet him, but I just saw him like I was not too far. But he was so sweet. He was so nice. He loved all of his fans, and you could tell he was just a genuine guy. Very sad. What happened?
Yeah, John just name drops all throughout the show, and it's a funny thing with all the fans. They say John, the name dropper. They call him, and everybody. It's a thing. We all
drop
have
Brandon is what they call you.
You know, yeah. No way.
But you can name drop if you want, because
No,
I got the absinthe. I got 2 different absinthe.
Oh, you ain't got it.
I got Lucid, and I got this California one called St. George.
Let's go. Let me take. I don't have anything good to drink. I just had some wine.
So I name dropped George R.R. and Weird Al Yankovic.
That's cool.
But you can name drop someone.
Let me think. Well, let me think here. So George R.R. Martin used to be, before he was famous and for Game of Thrones, he would write like short stories. You know, he wrote a science fiction story. I read it. You know, he used to go to MythCon, which is like a tiny group of nerds, tiny group of nerds, maybe like 100 people that have a conference every year. And, you know, Neil Gaiman, who wrote American Gods and Coraline and a bunch of different stuff, would come as the guest speaker, the honored guest speaker. George R.R. Martin would just come as a fan, and he would come to these MythCons. I never went, but people told me. And so I went to MythCon 45, which was at Wheaton College. And so Michael Drought was there, who's like the best Tolkien scholar that there is in the world, essentially. He's a genius, this guy. I took classes with him on Vikings and Old Norse, and that's how I learned Old Norse and Vikings history and Scandinavian history and lore and everything. Very fascinating. And like untreaded territory for scholars too, which I might do. So, but George R.R. Martin would just come as a fan. If you read his books or his short stories, like he has a sci-fi one, and it's a ship in space. It's basically Game of Thrones in space.
Wow.
So whatever, I forget the name, man. I'll find it though. We'll find it, or maybe a listener will find it. And you will. It's I forget the. I'll look it up though. It was on Starship Sofa, which audio dramatizes like obscure but very good science fiction, and it's called Starship Sofa. I know the guy that runs it, kind of forget his name, but he is actually a Scottish Freemason or something like that, right? So, the George R.R. Martin story that he wrote, I think it was from the 70s or 80s. It's basically they're on a spaceship and everybody dies, you know, which is basically the ending of Game of Thrones. Like everybody, you know, just pretty much dies, you know, so, or unalives, you know.
Unalives, yeah, it would be better to say it. Unalives.
Yeah, the Westworld finale was horrific. I might as well.
What happened? I forgot what happened. Yeah.
So this is a spoiler, and it really doesn't ruin anything. You can still enjoy season 1 and 2 and whatever.
Sure.
But the last season, what can they do? So rich people pay to do whatever they want to robots because they're not real and they're fake. Who cares? They're AI. They're not humans. And what's the last season? The last season is they create a super mega AI computer.
Right.
And the super mega AI computer kind of reveals that humans aren't real either. And there's real aliens outside of the planet and the universe. And so who cares about humans? Because humans are just ones and zeros, something to that effect. Something,
wow, really?
You know, kind of what Elon Musk talks about all the time, that we're just
simulation
in
theory,
a simulation.
Yeah. Right.
That's the season finale breakthrough.
No way.
It's kind of lazy writing when you think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like Tolkien would talk about this. Like he had I forget what he criticized. I think it was Shakespeare actually, because in Macbeth, the tree, like this guy King Lear is, or no, it's King Lear. He's like he's going crazy, and he thinks that the trees are coming out and attacking him. Really, it's like soldiers like holding up
Yeah.
branches, and he thinks the trees are attacking. And Tolkien was really upset that it wasn't actual trees that were getting up and attacking. That's why he wrote Isengard, where the trees, the Ents, actually get up and attack
Oh yeah,
Saruman.
I
Right.
remember that about
So
Isengard.
that's him making Macbeth right, the way he wanted. But Macbeth, so King Lear he sees these trees, and it's in his head that these guys are like, attacking him and stuff like that. And he's just forget my point with that
The
actually. Oh
walking
no,
trees.
hold on, what?
Walking trees.
Yeah, walking trees, but like, yeah, the Ents, but like, so Tolkien said that, and he criticized any story that was like, oh, it was all a dream, because like any story can be like, oh, it's all like Black Mirror. I
Yeah,
saw
that's a
some
horrific ending to any story.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's used correctly, but Black Mirror was like that, where it's like, oh, you think this was real. It was actually the dream of somebody, like St. Elmo, you know what I mean? It's just lazy writing. Like you'd always just say, oh, it was just a dream. You know what I mean? Like it's just a way to
Yeah,
bring
it's
back
lazy.
That
anything.
is.
So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like they're talking about, bringing back certain TV shows and stuff. And I really recommend Welcome to Derry. The new show Welcome to Derry on HBO. Give a recommendation for that, and I will mail you. By the way, this Dark Lord. I don't want you to do the rituals, but
Oh,
just
I'm not going
read
to do
it.
the rituals
All right,
like I told
please.
John with this. It's just for
Reading,
educational
research.
purposes.
That's
Yes,
right.
research
Okay,
and
fair enough.
education.
I need to protect you. You know that.
Oh, I forgot to mention magic squares, how to use them, but
Oh yeah,
I
please.
really
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
to
Yes.
recommend how to use them. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
EA Coetting shares the secret on how to use them. And it's one of the proofs that he's not fake. A lot of people say EA is just a showman, and he officially states that he's an entertainer. And the reason he states he's just an artist, he specifically says artist. The reason he says that is for legal purposes. I mean, just in case something happens, and something did happen, we don't want to talk about that news, but
Mm,
something horrifically happened in England, and it
that's
kind of
true.
got him deplatformed. He got banned
Yeah.
from a lot
Oh
of
wow.
social media
Yeah.
because of one of his followers was dumb, and he says he's just an artist to protect himself. If
Hmm.
anyone takes what he says literally, he can distance himself. So it's kind of a cop out and kind of cheap. But a lot of people in the occult say he's fake, and then they're jealous that he sells a bunch of books. So they'll
Hmm.
make a book deal with him, and they'll publish their book with him. He'll sell books. So a lot of occultists have joined him, and it's because he's really good at selling books. He's a good book
Yeah.
salesman. But I think EA does know how to use magic squares authentically. I think he's one of the few occultists that has revealed how to do it, and he reveals it in his book Kingdoms of Flame.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't recommend doing it. Okay, I just wouldn't recommend it.
What do
But
you do? Just rearrange the letters or something? Like what do you do?
I don't want to really share how to do it because people will
Why?
do it and then they'll blame me
I'm
for
not gonna
sharing
do
this
it.
mega secret. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
going to do it.
I'm not gonna do
I
it.
know, but the viewers will do it.
No,
They'll say,
I don't
"Thanks,
know.
I summoned a demon. Thanks, John. Thanks me." No, I don't want you to
Oh,
summon a
so we
demon.
don't want that.
No, but can you
You know
give
what I mean?
us a hint? Like, do you move the letters or something? Like, what do you, like the square? It's say like, and
Well,
Christopher Nolan's Tenant is all
it
based on
involves
the magic
focusing,
square.
and I can't go
Oh,
beyond that.
so like trance kind of stuff.
Perhaps trans
Okay.
related.
I think the trances are related to Tantra as well. And like I think trance is like a huge part of the occult. And
Oh
like
yeah.
if you're in a trance, you can basically change your mind and tap into like these hidden forces that are just around. Like I mean I can at any time because I did like kung fu training and Chinese like meditation, Tai Chi, there's definitely invisible forces around you.
Oh
And you
yeah.
can tap
Oh
into
no.
it. Like you're like what kids call aura. Like it was known way back in the day, but now they're using it now. Like, oh, you got aura. Um, that's real. Like there is an electromagnetic field, at least scientifically, around you. But I think that I was taught kung fu, and you can always tap into spirits that are there. I don't know. Always had that ability to just once I tapped into it, I knew how to tap into it all the time. When I was a kid, I was 14 years old. I was in my house. I told John about this. My parents weren't home. Had the whole house to myself. I started playing the Beatles anthology, which part 4 is coming out on Disney Channel, and it's on iTunes now. The new Beatles records that are out there, the new demos and tapes of all your loved songs that you love from the Beatles. I'm a big Beatles fan. Came out today. Shout out to the Beatles. Shout out to John, George, Ringo, Paul. Yep. All the girl, like everybody. So
Rest in
anyway,
peace, John Lennon.
rest in peace, John Lennon, and Sean Lennon,
Yeah, the Beatles are the best.
Oh, and George Harrison.
George Harrison,
George Harrison,
who
John, and
survived.
hopefully they patch things up in the
Well, George,
underworld.
they did. I think Paul and George actually did definitely, but Paul never. George kind of had a falling out with Paul. George loved John a lot, but they didn't really get too close at the end. Paul was actually really close to John in the 80s. And like if you hear the songs that they redid, like Real Love, Now and Then, or even John's last album, Beautiful Boy, just like Starting Over and the demos and stuff, it's 100% a shout out to Paul McCartney. And you can easily see it as being about either Sean Lennon, like his son, or about Paul, who we also very much loved. And like you can see that, and they were best friends. You know what I mean? Like they were so close, and they tapped into that songwriter thing where they just knew instantly how each other was feeling. You can see it when like George leaves the band and John's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And like Paul's like, "He left, oh, he's gone. He'll be," and John just goes, "Oh, he'll be back Wednesday," trying to like cheer him up a little bit, and like, like he hated when Mick Jagger would like criticize the Beatles and like he's like, I'm the only John Lennon would say, I'm the only one who can criticize the Beatles and Paul McCartney. No Mick Jagger. They always copied us. Like Let It Bleed is Let It Be. Satanic
Mick
Majesty.
Jagger, he's a world all his own.
I mean, I love him. I think he's one of the
I do
greatest lead.
too.
But he just the Stone, and I love the Stone. I love Keith Richards.
Oh no, the Stones are great. I got nothing bad to say about them.
I've been listening to him a lot lately. I asked my friend, "What's your favorite Rolling Stones album?" And he said Hackney Diamonds, which is like their latest stupid blues cover record. They're so old, but I love. Like I saw them live one time. They were pretty good. Yeah, man, like Mick Jagger's incredible. But John, shout out to John. I was obsessed. I was always a John guy, and I have all in my room. I don't have it here, but it used to be all full of John Lennon, this and that. Like I used to like worship him and like try to talk about summoning spirits and stuff like that. How you try to tap in to his songwriting ability, and there's some kind of vibration that comes from the song and his voice that can actually penetrate your mind in a way and influence your songwriting. So I was just practicing guitar, and I came home one day and I felt something, and no one was there. I picked up my guitar and I played this song. It was called Young Boy. My last name is Young, of course. And it was a very simple song, but I was like, wait a second, I got it. And it was the first song I knew how to play on guitar perfectly. And I still can play it, but like I tapped in to the current of that music. And I think music is like magic. It's like, it really is. Like John makes a lot of awesome music, my music is very like folk oriented and just guitar and folk
Yeah,
oriented.
even
So
Michael Jackson had said that. He said it's like music's like spells almost. You keep
really,
saying
yeah. Did he say that?
interest. He said that's I think he did. Well, I was on a
Huh.
something and where he did say that.
I believe that Prince thought that too,
Hmm.
and like I think Dylan definitely he doesn't know where his songs come from. He'll be the first to admit he's amazing when talk about songwriter, Jimi Hendrix and all that. But John used to live in Neverland Valley or at the Neverland Ranch high school or something like that, right? Like you
I lived really close to Neverland. I didn't live inside of it.
oh right, right. No, but the basketball
Right,
team, like he sponsored like the basketball team and
Yeah,
like
Michael Jackson donated to my high school. I never knew that until after the fact,
that's
but someone
amazing.
told
Can you
me.
imagine? So like of all places, like John, like Santa, yeah, that place is like, yeah, Michael Jackson was there, but
That's
I
probably
think,
why we had such a good science center. Probably
yep,
Michael Jackson paid for that.
yeah. I mean, this is kind of a out of the middle of nowhere kind of, not really, but town. But it happened to be filled with Michael Jackson until he moved to, like, I think he moved to Vegas, and I
Yeah,
played
my
for my
sister saw Michael Jackson in Los Olivos, and my
really
brother saw Michael Jackson in Los
no
Olivos,
way
but I never saw him.
in
My
Los
brother said
Olivos.
my brother said he was at All Star Video, and he was
Whoa,
just renting. He was just checking out the movie selection in
that's
a
so cool.
rabbi costume.
No way.
And my sister said that Michael Jackson was crossing the street in Los Olivos near All Star Video, and he wasn't in any costume whatsoever. And she said he was talking to himself, and that he said, "Doesn't anybody
Uh,
recognize me?" And
whoa.
that's what he said. So Los Olivos is such a laid back, at least back then. Now
Mm,
it has a lot more tourists, but back then in the
definitely.
90s, no one gave a crud about
Right.
celebrities. And it's the appeal what draws celebrities there. My sister said, as she worked at the wine tasting
That's
room,
right.
that she saw many celebrities: Michael Keaton,
I'm sure.
Kiefer Sutherland, Daryl
Yeah.
Hannah, and many
Probably Jeff
celebrities.
Bridges. Jeff Bridges, I would imagine. I went there for a wine tasting, and the girl I was with, her family had memberships to all those little wine. Jordan, Los Olivos is like, if you go to Santa Barbara, which is one of the most beautiful spots in California, you go up over these Santa Ynez Mountains, you come down them, and there's a little place called Los Olivos, and it's like a Mediterranean climate. So all these winemakers have like their own little shops all around. So you just basically, it's a wine tasting town. So you go in there and they're like, okay, we have this, and this, and this, and this. Oh, you're a member? Okay, it's free, for everybody. And you can bring in like how many people you want, whatever. And you just taste wine. You're like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. You might buy a bottle or whatever just for fun.
I'd have to get a tax after, and now as my tolerance is so low now, I'd have to get.
I know
I'd have
I
to
don't want you to do it now. I'm sorry to rub it in, but it's like yeah, it's really hard to escape. So I remember going there and being like, whoa, and then going to this one place that was in there in Los Olivos. I forget the name. I think it was Dragonetti was the name of the winemaker. And these are like Italian people that came over to California and decided to make wine. And it was very good. And it was a rosé, and it was very good. But when you go in there was no one there. And it felt, John, like the way we went into that saloon where it felt like almost like a movie set. It felt like a movie set. Like Los Olivos, I'm sure movies have been shot there. I'm sure TV shows,
Yeah,
scenes have been
there've been
shot there.
multiple. I remember in San Ynez Valley, I saw at least 3 movies being filmed
Really?
as a kid. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's just one of those places. Like somebody said one time, like that LA is just a set, a Hollywood set. Um controlled by demons who are the
directed by demons.
directed by demons. It was Genesis P. Orridge from God, I forget the name. She did Hamburger Lady. I know Sam Shadow. Shout out to Sam Shadow. Loves Genesis Peorage. I forget the name of the band they did. Do you remember, John?
Who are you talking about?
Genesis Peorage. They did a Hamburger Lady was the name of the song. There are several and convincing people was a really
I don't know.
freaking good song. I'll look it up. But she was good. They were like a double spirited person, so they were like a male and female. Genesis. But she said, I believe that about LA. It's like it really is like a Hollywood set, but the directors are demons, and they're going to be filled with actors one way or the other, is what she said. Like, you know what I mean? Genesis, and she had a demise, you know, and she was, you know, that show Oddities.
Yeah.
And so she was on that, and she was trying to sell like stuff, and like, you know, she was kind of poor back in the day, but she was in Throbbing Gristle's the band. Throbbing Gristle. If you ever need to like, I mean, this was 1979, I think, and they were doing industrial music back in 1979. But very smart, completely aware of magic. All the music that they made was like imbued with their rituals and magic. That's pretty much how they lived 24/7. And Jason Louv, who I have talked to, take a shot. He's not a big name though, so don't take a shot. Jason Louv, shout out to Jason if he's watching. I don't, he's probably not watching, but shout out to Jason. Matt was like kind of an initiate of hers and knew Genesis very well. He's been on Duncan Trussell's show very much. John Sickett.
Who's that?
Genesis.
Person
That
you
was
speak of?
Jason Louv. Shout out to Jason Louv, who has magic.me. His website is called magic.me, and you're drinking mead.
No,
Right?
this is absinthe.
Can you put it up to the camera so we can smell it?
This is absinthe
Smell it,
with
Jordan.
a little
How's it smell?
monkey
Whoa.
and a skull.
What is he Is he driving the skull? It looks like he's like, it's like he's like, come on, let's go.
He's playing drums. He's playing
the
drums.
That's pretty cool on the
on
skull.
the skull. Yeah.
They dug up a skull in Boston. Yeah, take the shot. Ready? Salud. I'm gonna so and they found a skull in downtown Boston yesterday, and they dug it up, and they don't know anything about it. It was just in the concrete, sort of cemented and stuff. So,
Dang.
You know, the catacombs are built with skulls.
yeah.
Yep.
You
Yep,
think
they
it would
are.
be extremely haunted, but I haven't heard that the catacombs is particularly mega haunted, you know?
Catacombs. I've been to the Roman catacomb, like underneath Paris and Rome are just, it's all skulls and bones down there, complete like cities. You can take tours down there. I would recommend it.
Sounds like a good stage for a Mortal Kombat tournament.
Imagine that. Yeah. Get over here. Let's see. Get over here. But yeah, no, it's like it's all on the ground for miles and miles and miles and miles. Edgar Allan Poe wrote about it in The Cask of Amontillado.
Oh yeah, he did. I remember that
That's right.
story.
He's a jester in Halloween. This guy's drunk on wine. He's like, oh, and this guy Fortunato, which means fortune.
Fortunato, yes.
Which was a goddess, a Roman goddess, and he's like, come with me, Fortunato. I have this great bottle of wine. It's called the cask. It's Amontillado. It's amazing, but you have to come into the catacombs with me to get it. It's in this really secret place. He puts him in there. And he's like, oh yeah, but you gotta, you know. And he's like, why are you building bricks? And he's just building bricks, talking to him, and he just seals them in the catacombs because he was an enemy.
Yep.
So very Edgar Allan Poe, a master. He did Peter Lavenda. Ibis Press was publishes Lavenda's books. We went over that in the Simon Necronomicon, and a couple books on the author page. Simon and Lavenda both make radio and television appearances. So he's saying that Simon make television and radio appearances. So when Peter Lavenda goes on any of those shows, he's taking on the Simon persona, which is interesting. we talked about names being important and how people take names when they're initiated into something. Frater X or EA Quedding or CW or Magus Azathoth, or it's very Gnostic, and then the answer to the riddle was crypto. So crypto, yeah, I get a riddle a couple episodes back, a Halloween special, and it was a tough one. AI couldn't get it, but there is a object called crypto, and I said for the hint, this riddle will take some intelligence, and it's at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. Langley, I was also a hint. I said the Australian basketball player was Luke Longley. If you change a vowel, which I said in the verse, to Langley, you get the town. And I also named Dogecoin. I also named crypto. I even named Superman and his best friend, which is Crypto, the little dog,
Yes.
So,
Crypto.
but this one is with a C, and it's basically it's like well, maybe we can splice it in. It's like a little statue of almost like a book. It looks like a book, but it's like code. It's like binary code and like runes and like carved, and it's in this weird DNA kind of shape. And nobody for a while was able to crack it. This guy artist has done many things, but he said that 3/4 of it has been cracked, but the final part will never be cracked until way after he passes away. So you got to think about wow, that's amazing. But it's right outside of CIA headquarters. So you think about crypto, who's behind that? It's probably the CIA. Anyway, that's the answer. It was crypto. No one got it, but somebody did get the Thorin Oaken Shield.
I was going to ask about that. Did you send that out to anybody yet?
No, somebody finally just got in touch with me. I guess they didn't have an email or a Twitter account. They had to set one up. I don't know.
They don't have an email? Come on, that's a lie.
I think they wanted. No, I'm sorry.
I've had guests that said that. I was like, everybody's got an email these days.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if it's a troll or not, but I'm gonna send it anyway, just to.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, of course. Nice. I'm not gonna reveal the information, even if it's a troll. I love you, and I don't. It's fine. There's nothing to troll me about.
You mentioned Dogecoin, right?
Yep.
Well, in my opinion, that's not how you pronounce it. That's just the way Elon Musk pronounces it. Therefore, that's the popular
Doja.
way.
Doja.
That news anchors pronounce it Doge because Elon Musk pronounces it
right.
Doge.
No, it's not. It's
I
Doja.
was there on the internet live when it became a meme, and it was called back then. Remember the burb meme?
No.
Remember burb?
Mm-mm.
Well, then you're not big into memes.
I'm not.
But
sorry.
The
burb. I'll look it up after this.
Became popular at the exact same time burb became a meme.
Okay.
And so I know how to pronounce it. It's not Doge. It's not Doge. It never was Doge. It's spelled D-O-G-E, correct?
Yes.
Well, burb is spelled B-I-R-B. It was like a cutesy way to say bird, but they changed it, with a B at the end instead of D at the end. Well, this came out virtually at the same time frame. The same year that burb came out, D-O-G-E came out. This is way before the crypto. This is just the meme itself of most likely, it was always a dog, but it was usually the same dog as the Queen of England's dogs. What's that breed called again?
Corgis.
Corgis.
Thank you.
So usually the dog was a corgi associated with the meme. And the coin, the crypto coin does have the corgi as the face. Anyway, DOGE amongst everyone online, and this was like 10, 15 years ago. So, I mean, no one remembers, right? But I remember. And it wasn't pronounced Doge back then. It was pronounced doggy.
Oh, really?
DOGE was pronounced doggy. The DOGE was doggy. It was a cutesy way to pronounce doggy, to say doggy. And the correct way to pronounce DOGE isn't Doge, but it's doggy. And that tells me how little Elon Musk knows about the internet, how little Elon Musk knows about memes. The fact that I know more about
True.
memes and the internet than Elon Musk is kind of strange,
It is funny.
but it was pronounced doggy among millions of people back 10, 15 years ago, whenever it originated.
Interesting.
About 15
Wow.
years
Well,
ago.
there you go.
Just to let
I
you know,
always thought
little
of
factoid.
yeah, that's awesome. I always doggy. I always thought of it as relating to the Venetian because the Venetians in Italy came up with essentially banking. They invented banking. The bank was
Okay,
where
I didn't know that.
the boats would go up, and there would be a bank guy there, a teller that would do the transactions. They came up. They have records at the St. Mark's that are just piles long of receipts of people exchanging money. It was the headquarters of like financial everything. East and West came through there because they had a colony in Turkey, actually. Venice wasn't part of Italy at that point. It was a city state. There was no Italy country. It was just Venice, Florence, Rome, Naples, these different parts of they were all independent countries in a sense. And so Venice, they took you can see it on the Ferrari logo. It's a black horse, and that is to signify St. Mark's, which has black horses as their thing. But in Venice, they created banking, and the leader of Venice, it was the first democracy to modern democracy. Anybody could put in a complaint, and it could be read anyway. But they elected a doge. It was called a doja, and he was the head he was basically the president, but with unlimited power. He had advisors around him, like eight, I think it was like 8 advisors around him, but there were doges of Venice, and there was some Enrico Dandolo was like the famous one that
Interesting.
actually because they were a conquering force. They went out and they conquered parts of Turkey. They tried to colonize parts of like this and that, but they started more modern banking. He pretended that he was blind, so like people would think he was blind, but he actually could see, and he used it to his advantage.
Yeah.
So anyway, modern banking, it was called they were called the Doja. And the Doja's, you can look it up, the Doja's Palace for people who are looking
Oh, I've
these
heard
things
of it.
up.
I've heard of the Doge's
Kind of
Palace.
like
Absolutely.
it's kind of like the French way to say it.
Yeah, maybe, or Italian. But it's because you have to pronounce every single little vowel, and that's like an easy way when I tell my students how to like learn Italian, it's like, or any language pretty much, is like say the vowel, every single vowel, doja, Italiano, every
Yeah.
single vowel. So, but yeah, but it's fascinating. We can talk about Venice, and I spent some time there back in the day, like 10 years when I lived in Rome for a year. So we went to Venice a couple times, went to Florence to see David and stuff like that. But it's amazing. And they did come up with banking. The Merchant of Venice is a Shakespeare play that definitely talks about that. It was the headquarters for a lot of people, but the leader was a doja. And so it was a currency in a sense. So I think maybe somebody was thinking about
Okay, could be.
that as
Somebody
well. I've
somebody
never
got
heard that.
confused. But
No, I've never heard that.
the meme predates the coin by many years,
Oh yeah, I bet.
and that's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
everyone called it doggy.
yeah. And I remember. I think probably this is when he was with Grimes, or something like that. So he was
Yeah,
just, I don't know.
when the coin came out, maybe.
Yeah, remember 2007? Take a shot. I was at Burning Man, and Elon Musk pulled up in his Roadster, his Tesla Roadster prototype that no one had ever seen. So, and I didn't know who he was. He just got out, and he was at our camp, DMT camp, which means dematerial camp. And so there's a bunch of hippies that from Stanford and from like San Francisco and stuff in Silicon Valley. They had this camp it was basically run fuel off of like recyclable materials. So they had a car. It was a butterfly. It was a mutant vehicle. It was a butterfly that lit up. It was like kind of like this thing. but it was like really cool. And it ran on garbage and compost, you know what I mean? Because that makes, and our bus ran on like vegetable oil. So they invited us in, and here comes Elon Musk with his wife at the time. It wasn't Amber Heard, or it wasn't like any of those people. I don't remember, but it was just some lady. I had no idea. He did have less hair, which I thought was funny. Like I didn't know who he was. But he definitely has had hair plugs or something like that.
Oh, you got
Yeah, he's had
it's,
professional hair plugs.
Absolutely.
I mean, with $1 billion, you can get the best hair plugs in the world. You know.
Hey, you don't have to go to Turkey. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, but he was there, and I did not talk to him. I just didn't know who he was. And apparently there were like a bunch of Silicon Valley people there. Joan Baez was there, the folk singer. Sting, is he Irish or Scottish? From the Police.
English.
Is he English? He was also in Dune. Remember he played Dune? I mean, he played Dune. He played.
I've heard of Joan Baez. I know who she is.
Joan Baez often played with Bob Dylan in the 60s, but she was like sort of a folk singer. She's still alive. She's still very beautiful old lady. But yeah, she was there, and she was, when you were there back in the day, you had no internet. There was one spot that had internet and cell phone service that you could go to, but back then in 2007, there was nothing. It was just, you had to just deal with it. And so you shut it off and you just put it in your pocket. And then you realize after, when it's called the Exodus, when everybody leaves, and you're supposed to leave no trace, pick up all your stuff, basically all your trash. But still, of course, there's a bunch of trash that people get. But we did our best and we left. And it was an incredible week. I could tell you, that's for another show probably. But very, very occult, by the way. A lot of Thelemites and OTO people, and like and a cross with like really good artists and like musicians, but also I think BlackRock was that, not BlackRock. What's the name of that company? Blackwater, which is like a military mercenary force, and they funded this they were there partying like it was nothing. You're surrounded by federal agents, but so it's like it really is like you're in a dream, and it's in this flat desert landscape, so it feels like you're in like a Dali-esque painting. You know what I mean? With all these different structures that you can interact with, and all these different weird people, and but it's not reality. It was fun, but it wasn't reality, you know. And then when we got back, Reno is the closest like real city. And I remember getting a hotel with my friend Nick, and I was like, "We're getting a hotel. We have to stay for another 3 days." And it was perfect. I took a bath for like 3 days, and I just went down every day and just ate at the hotel place. And it was like, Reno was like this. Reno, you ever seen Reno 911? Yeah, I always love that show, but it's basically,
Reno's like a crappy Vegas.
It is,
but it's the biggest little city.
It is. It's the biggest little city, exactly. But it's this. When you walk the street, the main strip, it's basically strip club, pawn shop, liquor store, pawn shop, strip club, liquor store, pawn shop, sushi place, and then like, but over and over and over and over and over and over and over, like
cashing place.
For the entire street, it's just over and over the same thing. And we just picked one. We walked in. It was fantastic club.
At least it wasn't churches and funeral homes and liquor stores like with some small towns in Texas.
That's good point, Jordan. That's a really good point. Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all's allergies are acting up, because mine sure are today.
Mine, not just my throat.
My stomach was me yesterday. Yeah, the throat. I got the throat thing yesterday.
Drink a lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin D. And zinc will help with that. And
drink a lot of vitamin P. Just kidding.
There is no vitamin P. Isn't that funny? There is no vitamin P.
He's wearing it on his head.
Where do you get a pea hat?
So I hope you learned a lot about peas and beans. thank you for watching the Peas in a Pod. Where do you get it? I custom made this.
No, of course you
You
did.
did
Oh
not.
my God. Yes,
I
you did.
love
I
it.
bet you did.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my God. The best. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I love you both so much. And this is a delight, and it's growing, and I'm learning more things. I think one day,
Me too.
maybe next week, we'll do it live. And there's just a button here that I push, and it's just so we can broadcast to like several different platforms at the same time and be uploaded to iTunes and Spotify. We're working
Yeah, I
on
can
that.
figure out how to get it on
Good.
iTunes and Spotify, but I just
Awesome.
haven't tried as of yet. But I will. I'll figure it out.
Cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people do have their stuff on there, and they're no better than us. Honestly, we're pretty cool, and I
Yeah.
think we're the coolest people in the world. And I think the Guinness Book of World Records would recognize that we are so cool. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to all the great listeners and fans and supporters out there. I really wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. I couldn't find anything really that occult or cool about Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
Usually
No, no,
Halloween is
no,
great, but
no.
Thanksgiving, it's just about sin. Essentially, it's about stuffing yourself, basically. So
Yeah.
gluttony. It's like it's basically like So it's a short week for me next week. It should be good. We're getting. It was a hard week, but at the end of the week, we were told we got a $10,000 bonus. So that was really
That's good.
nice. Here, 10,000. And teachers usually don't get. And this is luckily I'm in a good place, but they said I was just like, what? Like that's gonna help. Thank you. And it's like it's before they're like, we want to make sure that like you have money to spend on shopping for Christmas presents. And I was like, wow, did she say 10,000? Like, and it's every employee in the company. She's like, everybody in this room right now is getting $10,000 on such and such a date. We'll see if it happens, but if it does happen, I am going to invest in some really cool stuff for this program.
I don't
And
Get
blame
some
you.
doggy coin. Just kidding.
some doggy coin. Yeah, I better say it right, But I'm
Yeah.
definitely good.
I
We'll
mean, I can
see.
see you're right. Why he pronounces it Dogecoin because of that Doge history.
Yeah.
Doge.
But
It might be.
the meme that predates the
Cat,
coin
right?
by 5-10 years was pronounced doggy.
I believe you. I 100% believe that. But yeah, there is before that there was the Venice bankers and the leaders called Doges, and the
I mean,
Doges.
the people who made the meme didn't know about that.
No, well, maybe they did. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe they did, but I don't think so because
Who knows?
I read doggy and saw the meme with many paragraphs, many sentences, many memes, and it was always pronounced doggy.
Interesting. Well, I don't know, but anyway, crypto. Also, shout out to Bret Easton Ellis who sent me this book, American Psycho, which has become and inscribed it to me, Brandon, because I helped out with his. I'm really good friends with his friend Todd. For Brandon, American Psycho, Bret Easton Ellis. There are whole chapters on Phil Collins albums. This is a
cool.
character. If anybody anyone ever seen the movie or read the book?
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Okay.
It's definitely an interesting movie. I like the part where what's his face gets killed.
Oh, Jared Leto. Yeah.
Leto. Oh,
The
that's
Tron
a Kristen
3
Bell
guy.
movie. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
Oh, I
but,
saw Tron 3.
Oh, you did? How was that?
I was kind of disappointed, man.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a couple cool parts I heard, like
there's a couple cool parts. I mean, for a Tron fanatic, it's worth watching, but
yeah,
I'd rather stream it because I went to the movie theater and I was like,
gosh, I haven't been.
I was like, I
movie
wish
theater.
I watched Back to the Future.
I haven't been to the theater in 10 years.
Me either, Jordan. Let's go. We should go watch a movie together.
We should.
Shout out to Christopher Walken. Thank you, Christopher Walken, for your
Shout
autograph.
out Christopher Walken, big fan here.
Big fan of Christopher Walken. You can anybody try to do an impression of Walken? Hey,
More
hey,
cowbell. More
more.
cowbell.
I gotta work on
Yes,
it. I gotta work on it.
more cowbell is good.
I
Hey,
know somebody.
I have a fever, and the
Have a
only
fever.
prescription
More
is
cowbell.
more cowbell.
More
That's like,
cowbell.
yeah,
I know somebody who was at the rehearsal and watched the rehearsal for the cowbell skit live.
yeah. Well, on SNL, that's hard.
They said they couldn't get seats for the actual show, so they just got
Yep.
rehearsal.
I
They got tickets for the rehearsal only, and they
Interesting.
got to see the More Cowbell skit performed for the first time in the
Wow,
rehearsal.
at dress rehearsal.
Yeah,
SNL,
so
that's legendary.
they got
I
lucky.
when I was
That's one of the most legendary skits ever.
absolutely when I was in high school, I was obsessed with in middle school. I thought Conan O'Brien and I shared a brain because we thought so much alike. He would say things as I was thinking of ways to say them. So funny, so quick witted. Didn't know he went to Harvard. Didn't know he was from Boston. Didn't know he would be in a book with my dad, which is really cool, called Boston Irish. Check it out. I'll buy it. I'll show you. But it's on my Instagram if you want to check that out. With also many other Boston Irish celebrities, many of them not Irish actually. Um, but he's in that, and I love Conan. Shout out to Conan O'Brien. But I remember when I wanted to go to the show, I wanted to see a show, and it was in New York City. I was only 15. And I remember at the end of the credits, it would say for a split second, it would say, if you want to come to the show, write to this address or call this phone number or something like that. So I had to record it on a VCR and pause it and then write down the address. And then I wrote a letter. I was like, can I get a photo of Conan that doesn't look corny or blah, blah, blah. And I still have that photo. I should have brought it. Actually, it got tore up, but I have a great photo of it. But it's Conan, just like black and white, and it's signed by him. And then they gave me tickets. A lady called me and said, "Oh, so you're a fan of Conan?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, definitely." She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, you don't want to go to SNL?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to go to SNL." I'm like, I'm just here for Conan." But she's like, "Yes, it shoots in Rockefeller Plaza, which is the same same area. Like a lot of shows, NBC shows are shot right in Rockefeller Plaza."
Mm-hmm.
So I went there. I would go. So I got the tickets, but it was a 4-year waiting list for
Wow.
for SNL. But
Wow.
Conan was right away. So they gave me 4
Uh-huh.
tickets. I went there, went downstairs, and you have to find where the line is. And there's no sign that says the Conan O'Brien show. Line up here. You're
Yeah.
in Rockefeller Plaza, which is this giant building that
Mhm.
just goes up, and you don't know where. There's a mall at the bottom part, and you can go around and like hang out and get Chinese food. Went to Chinese food. I saw the guy who does many skits with Conan named Brian Stack. He did
Uh-huh.
like the Interrupter and all
Yeah,
this.
he's funny.
He's a very funny guy, man. But he was there getting Chinese food. And I came up to him and I said, "Are you?" I was like, "Are you? Are you him?" And he goes, "Who's him?" I was like, "The guy from Conan O'Brien?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm him." And I'm like, "Awesome." And he hugged me. He's like, "Oh, you're a good guy." My girlfriend at the time was like so embarrassed. So we went back to line. My friend Ethan, I know. I drove to New York at 15 years old, my first time driving out of the city to New York City. Oh my God, I'll never forget. I wanted just to take the bus and not even think about it, but I drove and I parked. It was like magic. I parked right at Rockefeller Plaza. Like, if you pretend to just be like, "Oh yeah, this is where I park," they won't. I was expecting a $500 ticket, my car to be towed. I had no idea where it was, but I parked. It was the only spot, so I took it, and it was there when we got out. Anyway, I waited 8 hours in line just so I would be first in line. So I was
Wow.
there, and it was just a black. It's just a black series of windows, totally blacked out, and there's a little door there, and you would never know that's where you line up for Conan O'Brien. You have to ask the pages. There's NBC pages. Aubrey Plaza was one of them at one point. The pages are pretty cool. But I remember one time I went, I was reading a book. Like I brought a book with me because I'm there for 8 hours, So I thought I would read, and reading, and I'm almost done with the book. It was called Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. It had just come out. It was an anthropology, materialistic look at evolution. So I'm reading it, and the pages are asking about it. We're going through the line. You can see certain celebrities or people who could cut the line. People cut the line, and they were placed as VIPs, whatever. But I was first in line. They are taping you the whole time. They're figuring out who can they put on TV as an audience member, who can they interact with, who can they goof on. They're definitely watching all that. They're trying to see.
Yeah.
So,
what episode did you get to see?
So
who were the guests?
I saw 3. I ended up seeing 3, but the first one was Piper Parabol from Coyote Ugly.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah, I remember her. I remember the movie.
She had like these big lips and like blonde hair. She was in Coyote Ugly, was her big. I don't know if she did anything else after that, but I remember she did, but she had a very douchebag British boyfriend. I remember that. And the band really, I forget who it was, but during the break when it was the band, they had a warm-up guy come up, and he immediately came up to me. And he actually does a podcast now too for Team Coco. I forget his name right now, but he went to law school and stuff. He's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Boston. Well, actually, I'm about an hour south of Boston." He's like, "Isn't that Rhode Island?" I'm like, "Pretty close." And he's like, "Oh my God, oh, blah blah blah." And then next time I came, which was a few years later, same guy to warm up the crowd came up to me and said, "Hey, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Boston, remember?" He's like, "Do I remember?" This guy is funny. He just goofed on me the entire time. Shaquille O'Neal, there's a videotape, and I have it somewhere. I'll look it up. There's a skit in the middle of everything where they say Shaq comes out of nowhere at the top of the stairs, and he says, "And once you go Shaq, you never go back." And everyone laughs, and then he comes down. He's walking down the stairs, and I see him.
Yeah, I saw Conan as well in Los Angeles. I saw him before his show got canceled.
Yeah, but there's like there's a show. So anyway, on film, you can see me slapping Shaq, giving a high five to Shaquille. I slapped his hand, gave him a high five. It's on video.
Very cool.
On Conan O'Brien show. I love Conan O'Brien. But the funny thing is during the break when the band was playing, they sucked so bad that I was trying to read this book, and I'm reading it like this, and I feel this presence, this overwhelming, like almost like a spirit. Like really, like I'm like, what the heck? Like somebody's staring at me, and I look over, and it's Conan. And Conan has his arm crossed like this. And is looking at me like like this, because what a douchebag I am for reading a freaking book during his entertainment show, which is like, it's like, you're so boring. I'd rather read this anthropology book. He was just looking at me like trying to study me. He's like, that's what he was thinking. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, I am being a douchebag by reading a book at a show. You know what I mean? So anyway, shout out to Conan. Much love to you guys.
I'm a big fan of Conan. They definitely watch the audience. And the lady called me. She said, "You still want to go to Conan?" I said, "Yes." And so I'm in line in Los Angeles. And we got there a little bit late because of traffic. And we didn't know if we're going to get in. So we take a picture, me and my girlfriend at the time. We take a picture of the huge Conan statue. And they're watching everybody. So it's like Conan's people make sure if someone gets a picture with the Conan statue that they can come in the show.
Yep.
So they literally had no more room. But because they saw us get a picture with the Conan statue, they literally opened up 2 seats to 2 folding chairs, and we sat behind the last row in folding chairs.
Wow, really? Now
We
this is
got-
in California, right? When he had the late night.
California.
Wow.
And his set, it was like Warner Brothers set or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the guests were Ron Howard, Wayne
Wow.
Gretzky, and some rap group that I can't remember.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah,
So it
you're
was
lucky.
pretty cool. I got to see Ron Howard talk about Angels and Demons, his sequel of
Yes. Da Vinci Code. Yeah.
the Da Vinci Code.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Da Vinci Code is actually the sequel to Angels and Demons, but whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
In the
and
book
during
too.
the show, Ron Howard makes a joke and nobody laughs. And then
No
I
way.
watched the TV version and they put in a laugh track.
They do, and they definitely edit a little bit too.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, not too much, but yeah. And they definitely put in laughs where they're not, and but they're legitimate laughs. Like they record every show,
Yeah.
and they mic the audience. So if something sounds like a legit laugh, they'll use that. You know what I mean?
And I wanted to take a picture of Conan, but they said no cell phones. And of course, the guy in front of me takes a picture anyway.
Really?
But the moon, the moon background.
That one guy.
It was you probably remember the moon
Yes.
background. It's all green.
beautiful.
It's all blue screen.
Is it?
You don't see a moon in person. It's all blue.
Oh, no
Oh,
way.
be darned.
Yeah.
Huh, it's not like Letterman. Letterman would just like throw pencils into the thing. But whatever. I love Conan. I love you guys. All right. I ramble.
Yeah, we got to cut this off.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching.
Thank you
for
all.
watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
It's fun.
Subscribe to Haunted Falls. Subscribe to Mysterialis.
Haunted
Subscribe
Falls
to
Paranormal.
Tolkien Study. I will be getting into more Tolkien stuff as we go on. Tom Shippey has a new book out. Michael Drought was coming out with a new book. There's a lot of people out there thinking they know about Tolkien. I might be the man. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Have
Love
a good
you
night.
too.
All right.
Seeing you.
You know, too.
Be seeing you.